My man. Doing the most. Doing the most. You know I had to remix this bitch. Shout out our boy. If I get caught up in a storm, pray the rain just keep me calm. All my life I dealt with pain, see no evil cause on. Chop along just like a arm, new bitches we fucking on. Doing wrong without them knowing, I'm the GOAT if you ain't know it. And you can't go do what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. And you can't go through what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. I just need someone to call on. I've been making moves like Michael Corleone. I won't say that shit until it's set in stone. Bitch, don't say my name if you gon' say it wrong. I can't touch these drugs and keep my...
Yo, it's your boy CT Crusher here checking in. Just wanting to remind y'all to go subscribe to my homie Hoodie Jube for the Hoodie Jube live podcast. We talking pressing topics here for you every night of the week. Hit that ding dong bell to make sure you don't miss an upload. Come join in on the conversation. Help us expand the community. We do a lot of giveaways, give away to a lot of charities, giving away to the local children's hospital. And oh, by the way, if you want a chance to win free NFL tickets, yes, I said that, free NFL tickets, make sure you subscribe and hit the ding so you don't miss a chance to win free NFL tickets. Peace out.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hoodie Jube, and if you're looking for the best restaurant in town, man, go try Weed Ass Chicken and Shrimp, man. They have the best chicken wings, the best chicken tenders, the best fried shrimp, the best fried catfish, and their fries are so amazing, covered with ranch, cheese, bacon, jalapenos. Oh my! Yes, you heard it. Go try it out. They got 4 locations: Monroe, Louisiana, Marrero, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas, baby. Go try it now.
Right, man. What up? I won't speak on nothing but the real. You know how I'm coming, you know what I'm saying? Say we've been down for too long. The only way is up, it's time to move on. Never leave your house without your shoes on. Them killers want your spot, you cannot move on. Ain't worried about that girl, I tell them move on. They say it's my fault, but I'm feeling I can't do wrong. Cut all my partners off, let me open like the roof gone. Long talks and I ain't never changed, it's just been too long. Gotta shake him back and that's a fact, so I'm turned up. All up in the club, I'm going down and I'm like, what's up? Throw me in that water, I won't go down, I'm too up. She want with a man, I knock that hoe down, I'm too up. Told all her friends, now she just want me to grow up.
You can't see us, I time things going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Cameron Jordan on the field, about to take a QB soul. Ever Camaro break a tackle, so you know he bold. Mike Thomas catching everything, so you know he cold. He talking Byron Matthew, he talking Marcus May. We in the backfield, we gon' make them pay. Them boys hitting hard, they need an X-ray. Yeah. We talking black and gold. 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 Straight to the Super Bowl. Your time is up. Our time is now. Say hoodie, you can't see us. Our time is now. Woo. Hoodie droop in the building. We shining now. We shining. You can't see us. Our time is now. You heard me? Your time is up. Our time is now. Woo. You can't see us. Our time is now. Say hoodie, hoodie droop in the building. We shining.
Here he is, Hoodie Jube. Look, I want to start off by just saying, how much I think the crowd affected the game yesterday. I thought the crowd was outstanding in the game. Caused a couple of false start penalties on their part, and I thought that was a huge part in the game. You could really tell the difference there at that last 3 and out that the defense got. I thought the crowd was a big factor in that. So we're going to need that again this week, obviously. But again, good to get a win. Still a lot of things we got to clean up, and we started that process today, and we'll start moving on to getting ready for Cincinnati.
DA, can you just speak to what establishing that physicality in the running game does for the psyche of an offense?
Yeah, well, I want to start off by saying this. I thought a huge factor in the game was time of possession. And so how do you maintain time of possession? You're effective on, and efficient on first and second down, getting yourself into third and manageable situations. The run game's a huge part of that. And then obviously defensively being able to get off the field on third down. So I thought the time of possession was huge in the game, and certainly our ability to run the ball was a big part of that.
Was there an expectation, sorry if this was asked last night, but was there an expectation around Taysom Hill being a focus in the run game, or did that develop as you saw plays?
Probably a little bit of both. We had a plan to utilize Taysom in the run game, and utilize him from the quarterback position. And I think the fact that we were effective being able to do that allowed us to stick with it a little bit more and do it a little bit more. So I think that's a combination of how effective it was, and I think there was a plan going in to be able to do that.
Can you speak to the impact Chris Olave has had in his rookie year? Of course, the big play unfortunately ended in having an injury, but just his impact in the game, and can you give an update on where he's at?
Well, the update would be that he's in the concussion protocol right now. Saw him today. He felt pretty good this morning. Texted with him last night. He felt pretty good. So we'll follow all those steps in terms of the protocol, and we won't put him back out there until he's cleared to go by the doctors. But he's had a big impact on our offense. I think I would compliment what the offense and the offensive staff were able to do yesterday. Losing Deontay and then losing Chris, and really kind of, hoping that Jarvis was going to be ready to go and just wasn't quite ready for the game. So, we had a lot of kind of last minute adjustments that we had to make. And I thought those guys did a really good job there.
You said you wanted to see the tape on that run play and you didn't love your call. What was your evaluation of that? So see how that goes.
Don't think we fit it the way that it needs to be fit. Don't think we executed the play the way that it needs to be executed. Probably would have maybe not quite been as aggressive in that situation. Make them go the long hard way, but we have to execute better in that situation. Well, look, he's an option. I think we'll have to evaluate and see where we're at. But he's certainly an option. And look, the thing I love about him when he's back there, he hits the thing downhill. There's not a lot of wasted movement, and we're kind of able to get what's blocked in that situation.
Of course, every game's different, but did you see much carryover, I guess, offensively from Minnesota to this game, where in terms of, I guess, maybe just cohesion and efficiency?
Yeah, look, I felt like we operated efficiently in this game offensively, and felt like we were able to do that in the second half of the previous game. And so, I think overall I was pleased with our offensive efficiency. I think that's what we have to be able to do. I think we're converting third downs at about a 50% clip over the last two games, and that allows us to maintain possession, stay on the field.
You got a sample stuff you have now. You're just trying to, when Jameis gets healthy, if you're trying to balance which seems the best interest of the team between the two starts. Is it really too small still? Two starts.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, obviously the evaluation of Jameis is probably kind of an incomplete evaluation based on the fact that he was dealing with some injury issues, and he's getting better. I do like what Andy's been able to do since he's been in there. I think he's, again, I keep using the word efficient. I mean, I think he's been, efficient in terms of operating the offense. So he's doing the things that he was brought here to do, and that was, when called upon, be able to go in and execute and give us a chance to win. And I think there's been two games that we've had an opportunity to win. And I think he's been a part of that.
Where's it's interesting. Taysom has one catch for 3 yards in 4 games as a tight end. Do you still want to see him as a tight tight end, or was that kind of like a miss title? Roster?
Well, I think back in the springtime, when we kind of started talking about the role of Taysom Hill and utilizing him in that F tight end role a little bit more, I think everybody kind of took that and said, well, he's just going to be a tight end from here on out. But really, I kind of envisioned that role being very similar to the role that he's had here in the past, and seeing him do a lot of the things that we're seeing him do now. And I think that'll continue to be the role. I'd like to get him more involved in the passing game. But to this point, we haven't really been able to do that. So we'll continue to work on that. But in the meantime, there's a lot of things that he can do really well for our football team, and not just offensively, but also in the kicking game. I think he's been a big factor for us.
I don't know if there's anything to this, but on that punt with the Seahawks when they kept the ball off, there was a penalty right before that, and it looked like Rizzi ran to the field to say something to Taysom. Did y'all see something that signaled what was going to happen?
No, look, I think we just recognized that the play before, I couldn't tell for sure exactly what they were doing, but obviously it wasn't a normal, punt that they were utilizing. So they were in a little bit of an unbalanced, formation. And so we've got a couple of things that we do when teams don't line up in a conventional, punt formation. And I think we're just kind of making sure that, everybody was on the same page in terms of what we were doing. And look, that was a huge play in the game.
I noticed Taysom said yesterday that you do have a check for that when they do an unbalanced lineup, and they were planning. Pete said they were planning to do a rugby style punt, and maybe you actually did confuse or cause a lot of panic there.
I don't know. Certainly, I thought our guys executed in that moment, and we got a little bit of a good rush and some good push, and I don't know if we affected the punter or not, but he decided not to kick the ball, and we were able to make the big play, set up our offense for a touchdown, and we had a couple of the quote unquote turnovers in that game that put our offense in good position, and those are things that we have to do to set our offense up to score points, and we were able to do that better in the game yesterday. I thought for his first game back, I thought he did some good things. I thought he affected the game inside. He was active, and so I thought it was a good first game back, and still some things that we've got to improve on, but was glad to have him back out there.
Dennis, you kind of mentioned it last night after the game, but what are some of the challenges that go into game playing with Taysom Hill and disguising those plays now that the Bengals are going to have the tape they have from this weekend?
Yeah, I think you're always looking to have a counterpunch, right? And obviously the verticals that we threw out of it for a touchdown is kind of one of the counterpunches, and so that's part of the schematics of pro football and trying to stay one step ahead of your opponent, and we'll kind of look at what we can do and what kind of change ups we can have off of it. But I think each week is going to be a different week in terms of how we plan those things.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in the press conference about how effective the crowd noise was and it being support of the Saints. A couple of local favorites are coming back this weekend, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. What can you say about those two athletes and what you guys will need to do to defend them?
Well, I think both of them are exceptional players. Joe Burrow is he's an athletic quarterback. Probably doesn't get enough credit for his athleticism, but highly competitive, accurate as a passer, and he's got some good weapons to throw the ball to, and he spreads the ball around, does a good job with that. I think Jamar Chase is one of the better receivers in our league. He's exceptional in terms of run after catch. So we're really kind of just getting into those guys a little bit, but I think both of them are outstanding players, and hopefully our crowd will be a little bit more behind the Saints team and not the local favorites. So we got a couple of local favorites on our side too.
Is that why you decided to schedule this game in particular?
Well, look, I mean, you know, I know what those players mean to LSU fans, and certainly they're great players, and you know, they have a special place in, you know, Louisiana sports history, in that they brought a national championship to LSU. But we're on to the NFL now, and they're part of the enemy, and you know, our team's focus has got to be on how we beat those guys, and hopefully our crowd will be into, you know, cheering on the Saints. Yeah, he had some testing last night, some more testing today. I won't go into the specifics of the abdominal injury that he has, but you know, he's going to be okay. We'll just have to see how he responds this week in terms of what his availability is going to be.
You said yesterday that there was some improvement in the second half against Minnesota. You had some more yesterday. What are you still focused on as the priorities for continuing?
Well, look, I still think this. I still think we got to do a better job of protecting the ball. You know, if there's one area, I think I said this last night, the one black eye offensively that we had is that we didn't do as good a job of protecting the football as we need to, and so that's got to get fixed. We put a huge point of emphasis on it last week. We'll continue to put a point of emphasis on it. You know, but you know, that, you know, the play right before the, you know, end of the first half, we got a nice little 2-minute drive going. We get the penalty, which was a good call. You know, and then we get the check down to AK, which really is going to put us into, you know, extended field goal range, but yet field goal range nonetheless, with like 30 seconds to go in the half, and you know, and then we end up giving them possession of the ball, and we don't execute on defense, and they end up getting the touchdown, taking the lead. So, you know, obviously, then we come back out in the second half, and the takeaway there to start the second half, I thought was a big play and big momentum boost for us.
It's kind of related to the Burrow Chase factor, but I know every game has its own personality. When you looked at the 6 plays of 32 or more yards that Seattle had, was that just one of those crazy games, or are you looking at that as something that you're concerned about?
Well, I think that's something that has to get corrected. You know, we've been one of the better teams in the league in terms of not giving up explosive plays. We didn't do a good job of that yesterday. And I think we got to do a much better job of focusing in on all the little bitty details, focusing in on the fundamentals and the technique that it requires you to play your position. And there's a lot of factors that go into, you know, those explosive plays, misfit a run, don't execute the stun exactly properly. You know, in terms of the passing game, we've got to execute our technique on the line of scrimmage, stay on top in coverage. So there's a lot of things that go into that. We've been pretty good at that, but yet we were not yesterday, and we've got to get it fixed.
It's always a next man up mentality, but how important is Marcus May to that point?
Well, look, I think he's a really good football player, and so getting him back, I think, would be a huge boost to our defense. I think he affects the game both in terms of the passing game and the running game. He's a physical player. He's a good tackler, and so, you know, we've had to adjust some things with him not being in the game, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get him back out there.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you agree, it seemed like the 4 long passing plays they had over the 6 average. I mean, they were really good players, but the offensive players looked like, you know, 2 touchdowns in the back by Lockett, Gino, when he was starting to scramble, and then Tom Metcalf, and then 1. Man.
Yeah, and look, it's so, yes, give them credit. They were all good plays and look, that's an explosive offense, and you know, their quarterback's playing at a really, really high level. The first touchdown of the game, he creates some stuff with his feet. He's able to kind of escape the pocket a little bit. We don't have great eyes in coverage, and Metcalf uncovers, and it's a touchdown. You know, the throw to Lockett was a hell of a throw. I think we can be better how we defended that. And then certainly the throw at the end of the half, that's inexcusable. All right. Okay. Thanks.
Run it up, Valero. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We going to the bowl. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Young Nolan hooded Jew on the beat, we let you know. Chris Olave, MT down the field. Once the throw the ball deep, yeah, you know it's getting real. Put Jarvis in the slot, he gon' do damage. AK in the backfield, you know Durant. E. Davis coming through the line, QB running out of time. Tom Brady, that's mine. Yeah, the Saints did it fine. Hold up, chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Hold up,
All right.
hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we toting, my life. Marshall.
Did we lose Hoodie? I think we lost him. Hoodie! Man. Oh, there he is.
Hello. Who
But you
that?
died on me, man.
Yeah, I died for a second. Ooh, no, I'm joking. But who that? Everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? Because me, I'm doing this fine over here. I got my man, the co-host of the show tonight, Real Fan Sports, aka Mr. Zach. How you doing
What's
tonight?
good? What's good, Hoodie? How we doing, everybody? How we doing, chat?
I know I'm doing this fine over here, but let's give everybody a special shout out. Like always, we always got to start off the show giving people their special shout out for being here on a late stream tonight as well. We got Elite
do it.
Goods in the building. Who that to you, Elite? We got Trav 504. Who that to you? We got Neville Lewis. Who that to you? We got Dat Sports Talk Guy. Who that to you? You got King Nep in the building. Who that to you? We got Eric Wallace in the building. Who that to you? We got Jerry the old freaking G. Who that to you? We got Mickey Johnson in the building. Who that to you? We got Rose City in the building. Who that to you? We got my boy T Dirty in the building. Who that to you? Be Kind in the building. Who that to you? We got Young Nola in the building. Who that to you, my man? We got John Tavius Harwell. Who that to you? We got Frank. Who that to you? Who else we got up in his name? We got Mr. Troy. Who that to you? We got J Live 504 in the building. Who that to you? By the way, T Dirty, I know you in the chat, my brother. I need to ask you a question. Do you give me permission to share something with my crowd? You know, the video you sent me earlier on Instagram. Let me know if you're cool with me sharing that with everybody, because I want to know their thoughts on it too. So put in the chat, say yes. Put in the chat, no. If you're cool with it, let me know, T Dirty. I see my boy the right in the chat too as well. Who that to y'all? I'm gonna put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on, but me and him's gonna chat it up just for a little bit before we actually bring y'all on. And oh, he said go ahead, homie, so I can share it with y'all. Cool. So here's the link for y'all. Anybody that wants to hop on, you're more than welcome. To hop on, like I said. And I'm gonna pin this to the top. Okay, it's pinned. All right. So let's let me just show y'all real quick before we actually get into the talking. My man, T Dirty. He does t-shirts and stuff, y'all. So I sent him a picture, you know, of my Saints logo, my Hoodie Jew logo that I got. And I asked him if he would, you know, be able to maybe put it on a t-shirt and see what it looks like, you know. And
Oh, that's
it
Dirty
definitely,
that posted that? I saw it, man. I saw it on Instagram. That is fire.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so I'm about to
you gotta
share
show that.
y'all, everybody. I think y'all might want to buy these shirts in the future. So I'm gonna definitely have to buy some from them and then, you know, sell them to y'all. But tell me this doesn't look nice. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. He took the yellow out and put gold on it. Look at this.
Ooh, that's crisp.
Will you buy that?
That's fire.
Would you wear your Hoodie Jew t-shirt?
I mean, I might. Well, actually, you know what? I was about to say, will it help me with the ladies, but I'm taken, so I guess it don't matter. Yeah, I wear it. I wear it.
Hey, I think it's a fire shirt, man. I like it a lot. Like I said, I'm gonna see, because I know he said he's gonna ship it to me soon. I'm gonna see how it looks. You know what I'm saying? But so
Yeah,
far in the video, it looks really fire. I'm thinking about getting some more of those, and selling them and stuff like that. And then eventually I'll get some more too and do them as giveaways. To those who might not feel like buying them, you can have a chance to win them in the giveaway. So, but
fire.
Joyce BFC in the chat, who that to you? By the way, to let everybody know, this is the Week 6 matchup preview, which is going to be the Cincinnati
Ooh.
Bengals coming to New Orleans to the Caesar Superdome to face
You
the
gonna be
New
there?
Orleans Saints. I might be. I might be going. We don't know yet. We're
Oh,
talking about it. We're trying to go. We're thinking about
oh, Hoodie, you gotta go. I'm gonna be there. You gotta go.
it. But yeah, so this is gonna be the matchup, man. This is gonna be a fun matchup. The real question is it gonna be more Saints fans? Is it gonna be more, Bengals fans, or is it gonna just be more LSU fans wearing Joe Burrow jerseys and Jamar Chase jerseys? We will.
Oh, it's gonna be. I better not. I swear, I'm telling you, if I see one person with a dang like half Burrow, like half like Breeze jersey or something like that, I might lose my mind. I might. I just might.
Come on now, you can't lose your mind. If it's half Breeze and half Burrow, I can
I mean,
respect
look,
that.
if it's a LSU Burrow jersey, then yes. If it's a Bengals Burrow, then no, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose it.
Why?
I
They
might,
just like
I
number
might,
9.
I might not even make it into the stadium if I see it outside. If I'm in Champion Square, getting turned, doing my thing,
Yeah.
it might be a wrap.
Oh, so you might get that. So you might start playing the song outside. Catch me outside. How about that?
Something like that.
But yes, it's gonna be Cincinnati versus the New Orleans Saints, man. And this is gonna be, I think, a really fun matchup. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to tell y'all something real quick, and I want to tell you this, Zach, too.
Yeah.
Everybody was giving up on the Saints. This is it. We 1-3. We're done. Da 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 da. Now we 2-3. And I don't know if anybody sees, but maybe I should just go take a look at the records right now. There's a lot of 2-3 teams that are Super Bowl caliber teams right now. Number one, the Bengals are a Super Bowl team. They went last year. They 2-3. Your damn Super Bowl champions, the Rams, 2-3.
They look
Go
horrible.
look at all these different teams. I think the Chargers are 2-3 or something like that. I'm
Mhm.
saying there's so many teams that are championship caliber teams that or 2-3 or worse, and then you got people that you look at and be like, they ain't making it nowhere this year, and they 4-1 or they 3-2. It's
Giants.
like Giants was a team I didn't think was gonna go for, but look what they doing now. You know what I'm saying? You got
Boy,
different.
beating the Packers out of London? What?
Yeah,
Daniel Jones.
You got teams that you don't think is gonna do nothing, doing stuff right now, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. Even if we start off 1-3, now we 2-3. We can always change it around. And I said, look at the different teams. And I said, look at the I wanted everybody to look at the. What is it? Is it NFC West or is it West? That's the Rams in them, right? The NFC West.
Yeah.
Look at their division from last weekend. They all were 2-2 last week before some of the teams went head and head. So most of those teams in that division, Seahawks are 2-3 now. Cardinals lost to the Eagles, so they 2-3. The Rams just lost, I think, again. No, yeah, they lost to the Cowboys, so they 2-3. And who was the other team in their division? 49ers won.
49ers, yeah.
They won, and they 3-2. So just think of that. Like, look at the NFC right now. It's wide the hell open, and we all were giving up. And remember what you said, and we were talking about it last week. The team that you're watching right now is not even the full healthy Saints team that we know we can beat, because everybody's injured right now. You'll have some good players on the field. And to be honest with you, I was so happy to see the Saints finally utilize Taysom Hill, because We didn't pay that man the money just to be on the bench and just trying to act like he's a tight end just to be a tight end. That man can do everything. So why not run some RBOs? And the funny part, I said it on the last stream, people
Mhm.
knows where he's going and they still can't stop it. So guess what? If they can't stop it, you keep running until the team stops it. And then once the team stops it, something else is going to open up and they're not going to be ready for it. It's just going to happen. And I think this team is going to be really scary in the next few weeks once we start getting healthy. Wait till everybody starts coming back. Wait till remember we was talking about how we got so much depth in the backfield in the DB room. And then
Mhm.
we were like, okay, we should be good. That's why we traded CJ Gardner Johnson, even though we wanted CJ Gardner Johnson. But at the end of the day, he got his money. He's happy now. He's on a 5-0 start right now with the Eagles. But I said, we got so much depth. We're good. Look how
Mhm.
thin our DB room is right now because of all these injuries. It's like crazy. No
Oh yeah.
Marcus May, no Alante Taylor that you drafted, no PJ Williams. Adebo wasn't in there for a little bit, but now he's back. Lattimore got hurt, so he might not play this week. So I'm saying, look at all the injuries we're getting right now
Oh
from
yeah.
in our DB room. Now, the only happy thing that we can say is well, we was all sad about Kawhi, remember, leaving too. And guess what happened? Pete Warner's been playing out his mind. He has the most
Oh yeah.
solo tackles in the NFL right now at 37 solo tackles. This man is balling out right now for this New Orleans Saints,
Big
and
facts. Big facts.
I'm super excited to see that. Him and Demario Davis doing great. Um, I'm actually happy to say the last few games, the D line is actually kind of showing up now. Getting some sacks, getting some
Mhm.
pressure on them,
And I mean
and
that
stuff
should
like that.
that should continue with these dang Bengals, man.
Yes, and it should because their O line ain't been doing great against people.
I feel like Joe Burrow. He's been in the league long enough. I think I'm walking up to each and every one of them, just slapping them upside the head every time they let me get sacked. God, it's disgraceful.
I see Miss who that Dana, who that to you. I see you in the chat as well. But who that to everybody. But yeah, we're basically going over the preview. I did pin the link to the top if anybody wants to hop on, come chat up with us for a little bit. But like I said, we're gonna cover our preview. Give us our thoughts on it. By the way, the New Orleans Saints after they beat the Seahawks. We did find out Rashad Penning, so prayers to their running back. Hopefully he gets a speedy recovery
Mhm.
and hope he's ready again for next year because he's out for the season, most likely they're saying. The man did have successful surgery, so congratulations, Penning, having great surgery. I'm glad to hear that, my man. But they did take Tony Jones Jr. And sign them to their team after we waived them. So the Saints are down to Kamara, Mark Ingram, and Dwayne Washington. Well, I wanted to share this with y'all real quick, a picture. I seen this on Instagram, I see it on Twitter, and all. So here's a picture of it. The Saints had worked out a few players today. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it says the Saints worked out running backs Jordan Howard, Antonio Williams, Jordan Wilkins, and AJ Rose today, per sources from Mr. Aaron Wilson. Now, Jordan Howard is the guy I wanted to pick up last year when we tried them out.
Mhm.
And all that. That was the dude I wanted to see on the team, but they let him go because we had enough depth and all that, so it was pretty straight. But now you don't have the depth, and I think having a guy like Jordan Howard on the team, to be honest with you, if I said Kamara, if Ingram doesn't step it up and be the guy that we know Ingram can actually be, then guess what? Jordan Howard, I think, could beat him in that spot. And I can see Kamara and Jordan Howard being a pretty good duo because Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard used to make some noise with the Eagles together.
Mhm.
I think it was last year or the year before that. They were balling out together. So, like, I would love to see a guy like Jordan Howard be signed to the roster. What you think about Jordan Howard?
Yeah, man, I like him. He kind of stepped in for a little bit for Philadelphia when Miles Sanders went down. He looked really nice. I mean, I know they ran like with the they kind of flopped between like 3-4 different guys that whole entire time, but man, he had a couple like crazy breakout games when they just used him as the primary back. So I'm definitely all for it.
Yes, definitely. Me too, man. And by the way, there was another thing that went out today. I did we tweeted this as well on my profile. So let me pull it up real quick and I'm gonna show y'all this as well. This is from all around the dome. They, like a little Saints, Twitter thing. They like to post stuff about Saints, and when they find out news and certain stuff, they'll share it right away and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So let me share my screen again. Look at this. This is some more good news that we're supposedly maybe getting this week. Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas is set to return versus the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend. Official announcement
Oh, we
expected
need
by
that.
Friday. Yes. So if this is true, that's gonna be a amazing news. And by the way, to be honest with you, I really do think Jarvis Landry will be back. And the reason why I say I think Jarvis Landry will be back in the building is because he played with the Vikings, even though he was hurt, he still played. They rest him this week, even though they said he was probably going to play this week. They decided just to rest him, which was a smart thing. And I think he's going to be ready to go against the Bengals. So we
Mm,
should have at least Michael Thomas and Jarvis back. We do not know about Chris Olave because of the concussion protocol. He's still in there. But
mhm.
hopefully the young man will get out of protocol this week by like Wednesday or Thursday and can still practice and come play because oh my gosh, would it be fun to see an offense of Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave going against a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, bro? And then you got Joe Mixon in the backfield, and you got a Camaro on the other side. That will be a fun,
Oh,
um,
it's man, I'm
fun back
hoping
and
it's
forth
gonna be
game.
a great game, man. I mean, and by a great game, I mean I hope we beat the brakes off of. 'Em. But like I think it's gonna be a really exciting game, man. I hope everybody I hope everybody's come back. Man, if MT can come back, that's gonna be absolutely huge. I dare them to put Eli Apple on. I dare them.
Definitely. And who that to you, Mama Juby? I see you in the chat. Love you, Mama. But let me tell y'all something. I don't know if y'all read this. Did y'all know that Michael Thomas used to mess around with Eli Apple in
I
Ohio State
saw
practice? Is
that.
that you seen that?
I
He
saw
he he
that.
he used to bully him in practice, and then we'll go look at the coach and tell him, you need to go recruit somebody that can guard me. I'm like, dog, like, dude, I know Eli Apple does not want to see this man right now. And don't forget that the New Orleans Saints, we know, and don't act like we didn't forget. Let me go pull it up again. Let me go post something else up on Twitter that people were posting today. Hold on, y'all. Let me find this. I just want you. You know who did it? My boy Nader. Um, Posted this. Watch this. Y'all gonna be like, oh yeah. I didn't forget that he said that. I know a lot of us didn't forget shit because Eli Apple's a burnt piece of toast. That's what he is. He's a burnt freaking piece of toast. I think his name is Eli Toast. That's what his name is. It ain't Apple. Let me look for it real quick, y'all. I want to see. I want to find the post that he posted earlier. Um, Let me find it real quick.
Get it.
He posted so many different things, so it's hard to find him sometimes. Could he be posting so many things? Yeah, the brother be posting so much stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, let me see. Oh, you know what it is? I think he might have retweeted it like I did. So hold on, give me 1 second. I might can find it on Instagram real quick. Y'all hold on 1 second. Let me look it up on this guy's. Was it Saints Nation guy? Did he post that earlier? Or was it somebody else? Oh, yep,
There you
he
go.
did. Y'all, who that nation? Y'all know damn well we didn't forget this. Y'all know damn well the who that nation didn't forget this.
No, Lord.
New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food ever. Laughing faces. It's that swan and crawfish that's killing y'all brains. Eli Apple. I know. It's okay. It's okay to be butthurt because we didn't want you anymore because you're trash. It's okay, my brother. But it doesn't mean you go trash the city because when you talk about the city and you coming back to the city to play, first of all, Michael Thomas and all these people love our city. So guess what? They're gonna be ready to beat your ass already on the field without having to break your ankle. They're ready to beat your face in already. Second of all, you're gonna be on that field. Now, we know what happened last year when you said that shit. Now, don't be crying for help when the game ends and the lights just turn off, and when the lights come back on, the whole New Orleans arena and I said arena, Superdome, the whole people is like literally on the field surrounding your bitch ass, getting your ass beat. Don't be mad when that happens because, and you know it's gonna be the funny part. That might be happening. Guess who else might be whooping his ass in the video? Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow be beating up their own teammate because they from Louisiana, or play for LSU. They love the Louisiana still. They love the culture. So guess what? I can't wait to see I can't wait to see Eli Apple get his ass burnt. I do have to say I
Oh
would be
yeah,
worried about Von Bell. Von Bell's been playing out his mind this year too. 3
he
interceptions
has.
already of the
He
season.
has.
And I think that's the most. I think he had 2 interceptions his whole career. Now he's got 3 in one season. I'm like, damn, Von Bell, you're playing lights out. So, oh, and by the way, Trey Henderson, you gotta watch out for him. He's a sack machine now. Ever since he left
Mhm.
us, so I'm ready to see what this matchup is gonna be. But a lot of people like us are still iffy because we don't know who the quarterback's gonna be this week. Is Jameis coming back? Is he healthier? Or is they gonna let him rest again for the next few weeks still, and give him about a month to heal? Because fractured back ain't gonna heal in 2 weeks. Especially after you fractured it in week one, and you still played and got sacked like 13 more times in the 2 weeks after that. And you was growing on it, you was playing through it, you was pressing through it, and there's no way
Yeah.
that heals just in 2 weeks. So if I was guessing, as if I was the coach, I'll probably be having my man sit for the next 2 weeks. Maybe have him come back against maybe the Raiders or a team like that. That we
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping him out until he's like 100%. Because once, like I said earlier, I want to be able to evaluate him. I can't evaluate him when he's playing at 80%, just trying to force himself to be out there. And Dalton's doing what he has to do. I'm fine with that. I don't want Jameis going out there too early and then just getting banged right back up and then having to get out again out of nowhere.
yeah.
It, and look, and let Andy Dalton play against his old team, man. You know what? Honestly, someone needs to get like Andy Dalton some hair color kit. I don't know about all that stuff, dude. Let him like color his hair gold instead of that nasty orange. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Who that to you, Brandon? And I seen that's your girl. Is that her name, Skylar, right?
Yeah, Skyler. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Skylar put in the chat something about. She said we got it. She said in her opinion, she don't think Jarvis Landry, showing out like we thought he would. Well, Skylar, I kind of agree, but I don't agree. And the reason why I say I kind of agree, but I don't agree, is because week one that man signed out and showed you who he is. Week two, he wasn't really there as much. It was more of a Michael Thomas, Chris Olave type of game. But it's gonna happen when you got a talented receiver. They're gonna outshine you. Even though you still can be doing pretty good at what you need to do. You're moving the sticks. You getting the big first downs for us, but you might not be getting those big chunky yards like Chris Olave is. But you might not be getting the touchdowns that Michael Thomas is. But you're doing the dirty work for us, and we don't get credit for that.
oh
Also,
yeah.
he got hurt. One of the games, and he missed the rest of that game. He tried to come back and play hurt in the Vikings game. And then he didn't play last week. So that's 3 games he was basically injured, and he only got to play really 2 healthy games so far. In the first healthy game, he balled out against the Falcons. Second game, he was kind of overshadowed by Chris Olave and
Mhm.
a Michael Thomas. So I think he's still going to be outstanding with us, especially if he's a little bit healthier this week and his ankle is better to where he can actually run better routes this week. Compared to the Vikings game, you can tell he wasn't the same.
Yep.
So that would be my start, Skylar. Um, that's how I feel. What's your thought, Zach, on a Jarvis Landry? Do you think he's not performing, or
I mean,
you agree with the girl? You agree with the lady? I know it's your girl. I know it's your
you're
girlfriend, but
trying to
that's why
get
you got to agree with her.
you're gonna try and get me in trouble, hoodie. I mean, I think when you have just like so many different players, like certain players are going to have bigger games one day. I think Michael Thomas is always going to get his touches, and then it'll kind of get split here and there. Olave is always going to get his deep balls when Jarvis is open, and whoever the quarterback is at the time is looking his way. He's going to throw it to him. I don't think it's a matter of him like just not playing good. I think it's just you have a lot of options right now,
Yeah, for sure, man.
or at least we should have a lot of options.
Yeah, like I said, you got a lot of options that you got that you're going through. They got different options you can go to. Um, he's fighting an ankle injury right now, so he didn't play. Basically, I think it was week 4 he tried to play through the injury. He couldn't really play. Week 3 is when he got hurt. He went out again, so he only played like a half a game. And then, like we said, he sat out last week. So you haven't really seen him since week 2, basically, because he's been kind of hurt. Michael Thomas, same thing. You know, his toes
Yeah.
hurting, so hopefully the brother can come back this week, like they saying. He's expected to return because
Yeah,
that's
and
gonna be
how crazy Hardy's turf toe, man. I've never heard of a turf toe that bad. That's crazy.
yeah. I heard he's
Out for
gonna
the
be out for the
whole
season
season,
now.
man.
Yes.
Wow. And he's had two different opinions, both saying the same thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, since you brought that up, about
Bring in Rashid Shaheed. Apparently, that's the rumor. That's what's going around the water fountain. The cooler.
that's what I was told, man, by Mr. Nick Underhill. So I'm gonna share the screen with y'all real quick, unless y'all see the post by Mr. Nick Underhill. It was reported by him. I am hearing that Rashid Shaheed will be up this week for the Saints. So he was one of the most talented returners in college football last year. So it can be a weapon on the offense. Yes, totally agree. And remember, yesterday we were talking about it because somebody asked us, with Deontay gone, it's like, what are we going to see? We're going to see more Callaway again. We're going to see Taysom Hill returning like he was doing it. We're going to let maybe Jarvis Landry, since he might be coming back, return some. Or we didn't do none of that, and we're going to just put Rashid Shaheed in. We're just going to put him in because he was on the practice squad. You can't just take somebody off the practice squad during the game. And so far, it looks like like we said, we think Rashid Shaheed was going to get to start this week. At punt returning and kick returning. Guess what? So far, Nick Underhill said Rashid he will be up and ready to go, which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I hate when your main group of wide receivers go back and return punts. I just hate that. Unless it's like you're in the playoffs or something like that, like for the regular season this early. Like, no. Like I don't want that. I don't want Jarvis back there. I don't want Taysom back there. Like I just don't want to have that happen. Most injuries happen during kick returns and punt returns.
Definitely. And you know what's crazy? Somebody said this in TJ's chat earlier. I was listening to them, before we started the show, and somebody said, I forgot who it was that was in his chat, but they literally said this, and it made so much sense. They said, "What are you going to do if you got?" He said, "Andy Dalton or James Winston, no matter who it is at quarterback. You got Kamara on one side of them in the backfield. You got Taysom Hill on the other side in the backfield, and then you got Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave out there." Lined up. How are you stopping that offense? Because you don't know if it's going to go to Kamara for a screen or it can go for a screen to Taysom Hill. Is it going to be handed off to Kamara? Is it going to be a handoff to Taysom, or is it going to be a toss to Taysom and he fakes like he's going to run and he throws it? Like you don't know, or is it just going to be faking all of y'all? Y'all think they going out for a pass or a run? They just sitting there blocking for Dalton for Thomas to go for a slant. Like you don't know what's going to happen. There's so many scenarios. So that's why I said I can't wait to see this team fully healthy to where you got all your weapons on the field. Nobody's playing through an injury, and everybody's just 100% healthy, and see what this team can be.
But the thing is even with everybody there, it's not a matter of just like having the people and the names and all this stuff. It's just about executing. It's about coming in with a actual game plan on offense, an actual game plan on defense, and then executing that plan. On offense, we did that last week. On defense, we did not. And there was no week before that on offense that we came out and it looked like we had a game plan that we were trying to execute. It just kind of looked like we were just kind of out there playing football,
Yes, definitely. And I wanted to ask you this. Basically, if Jameis, is not good to go, you said Andy Dalton will be playing his old team, the Bengals, that he played his career, so I think he'll probably want to make a point to them, and show them who he is, and stuff like that. But the real question for you would be, with Kamara back, and it looked like he was kind of himself last game, rushing for over 100, almost received from 100. I think he was like 9 yards away from having
it's like 103 and 91, I think is what it was.
Yeah, so they were like really close to that. So my question to you is, if Mark Ingram doesn't show up, in the next week or 2 weeks, the next two games, what would be the route that you would want to go? Because yes, Kamara is still your main guy. That's who's going to get most of your touches, but you can't run Kamara into the ground like McCaffrey does, what the Panthers do with him. So would you, like you said, we looked at Jordan Howard today, stuff like that, maybe looking into that. Would you be looking into maybe trading for somebody? Like, what would be your route if Mark Ingram, just doesn't have nothing left in the tank and he's just not the Mark Ingram that we thought he would?
I mean, I love Mark Ingram. I was happy we brought him back last year, but I honestly didn't think we were going to re-sign him for another year. I didn't even think that was in the question. I thought it was like he was coming to fill in a void while we had some injuries and stuff like that, and then he wasn't going to be back. And then even when when he did, I didn't think he was going to play the main role like what he is. Mark's up there in age, man. He don't have that step like he used to. He don't hit the hole fast. Like. They need to bring in somebody. I don't know if they need to go in and try to just sign someone, out in free agency. If they need to try and work a trade, what that trade would be. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's about that time when we're gonna start seeing that happening.
Definitely, man. And like I said, I think what it is too, he's not pacing enough. He's not pacing like Kamara where he waits for the hold open. He just wants to run it up and just hit the first thing that he sees, instead of waiting for the hold. That's what a lot of people were saying about Ingram as well. But by the way, that we do have a special guest coming on. And that is, everybody should know him from State of the Saints podcast, Mr. TJ. So let's bring him on. And let me say this like he says it. I am the host. And he pauses, with the, you can't see me, but I got my hands praying like that, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, Mr. TJ. How you doing?
Man. Hey, how y'all doing? Zach, how you doing, man?
What's good, TJ? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, TJ, man. Since you here, I wanted to ask you the same question. I know you basically kind of touched it up on your own show, but I started my show right after you. Like you said, if Mark Ingram, man, doesn't show up in the next week or two, what is the route that you like? If you was the head coach and you was, the head coach of the Saints and you was Dennis Allen, what would you do if you just look at it and it's like, well, Mark Ingram ain't the dude that I thought he was?
Well, I think that you have to just go in a different direction. Rather you gonna maybe promote Dwayne Washington to more running back duties, or you're gonna sign somebody off the street. Now, there were a few guys that they worked out, and one of those guys was Jordan Howard. And Jordan Howard was on the practice squad last year with the New Orleans Saints towards the end of the season. So wouldn't surprise me if they end up signing him because they're more familiar with him based on if he passes a physical or not. But look, I mean, I'm not really ready to throw away Mark Ingram just yet. I just feel like this offensive line is just starting to figure it out just a little bit. I mean, they had 48 touches, 48 carries last week. So I don't think that they're out the woods just yet. I would like to see like where this offensive line is, and if he continues to have like the downward spiral we've been seeing. Because if you look at his stats over these last 5 games, I mean, it's like the stock market, 1929. I mean, it's crashing. You know what I'm saying? Every week his yards average goes down. So I don't know if that's an indication of who he is as of right now, or I know he dealt with an injury in Minnesota in the middle of the game. I don't know the severity of that. But whatever it is, he is going to have to figure it out, because Alvin Kamara is special, but we don't want to wear him down to the ground because Mark Ingram isn't doing his part.
Yes, sir. And Mr. TJ, another good question for you is, if Michael Thomas is good to go, like they saying he's expected to play, Jarvis Landry should be able to go probably. That's probably why they let him rest this past weekend.
Right.
And let's say Chris Olave does clear protocols, he's good to go.
Right.
How nice of a matchup would this be to see? I think it's going to be Andy Dalton. I don't think Jameis going to be back just yet. I think he's still healing. So you'll see Andy Dalton with a Kamara in the backfield, with a Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and a Chris Olave, versus a Joe Burrow with a Joe Mixon in the backfield with a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. What type of matchup would that be? You think it's going to be an explosive game, kind of like the Seattle game last week?
I mean, I think it would be an explosive game. I think that the offensive innovations, it comes with endless possibilities. But honestly, I feel like that's wishful thinking. Like, I look at the way the concussion protocols are right now. They changed the rules. Everybody is kind of like, on edge when it comes to that. Everybody saw that on Thursday night. That was a nationally televised game, and we saw a guy basically temporarily become paralyzed on the field in front of a nationally televised audience, and that wasn't a good look. So teams are going to kind of back away from situations like that. And look, I would love to see Chris Olave out there, but the guy is so special, and the Saints are going to need him down the line for years to come. And I wouldn't want to sacrifice his health and him having a possibility of re-aggravating that injury and being out even longer. I'd rather have him sit out. But if we're in an alternative universe, of course I would love to see this, and it would resort in a lot, I wouldn't say it was resorting a lot of points, but it would be some great offensive innovation because, like I said, it would be endless because you have so much talent on the field and you'll have so many ways to score.
Yes. I mean, shoot.
Definitely, man.
Like you said, we definitely
Sum
do
that
need
up
Chris
good.
Olave down the road. Let
Yeah.
the brother hero. I think that's the best thing to do too. Like I said, I think it's the same
Yeah.
reason with the I think a lot of people because I did talk to Mr. Our brother the right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came on the show last night, and me and him was talking with just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he's glad that he was talking to me on the podcast and seeing my point of view of what's happening. But he asked me, he said, "Hey, with the way the offense been clicking the last few games, yes, they still fumbling, they still shooting themselves in the foot with penalties,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like they getting a rhythm going." I said, yeah.
Right.
I said, so do you start any doubt and just never take him out, even if Jameis was 100? And I said, well, if Jameis was 100% to go, I would pull out any doubt in a heartbeat and bring my deep threat, passing guy back that I know can hit down the field and stuff. And I said, the first few weeks, you already know the dude wasn't healthy throwing the ball. Second of all, the first 5 games so far we fumbled, but the difference between the Vikings game and this game and the other games is that the games that Andy Dalton's been playing, even though we fumbled, we still kept running the ball because they know the other team could not stop our running. When Jameis was hurt and can barely throw the ball already, once we fumbled, they gave up on the run play, and now you got Jameis throwing the ball 40-something times a game with a faster back. So I think that's why you're finding more of a rhythm now, because even though we fumbled 3 times earlier last game, we still ran the ball down their throat and still ran for 220-something yards last game. So I think that's a big
Right.
difference. And he was like, true. And I said, what is Jameis Winston best at? Play action. And how you get play action? When you open up the run game. And if they
Mm-hmm.
keep the run game going and you bring a healthy Jameis Winston back, I can see this team being more explosive than what it is right now.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I think that Jameis Winston definitely has a dynamic that Andy Dalton doesn't have. But I will say this. Look, you can't affect the chemistry of this team. I mean, if Andy Dalton can spring off a couple wins, I don't see how or why the Saints will go back to Jameis Winston. Like, seriously, I want to see Jameis Winston succeed. But if the team is clicking and the offense is clicking and they're putting up points and it just seems like they're clicking on all cylinders, I don't see why you would bring him back. Like, it wouldn't make much sense. The only logical explanation that they can come up with, if Jameis comes back and let's just say they have a competition, right? Let's see what Jameis is at in the middle of the week. We give him half the snaps. We give Andy half the snaps. And let's see who performed better, right? And if Jameis outperforms him, then put him out there by all means. But, man, this isn't one of those situations where it's just like he's just the undisputed starting quarterback. I'm sorry, man. Like, I like Jameis a lot, but this isn't like we talking about Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love here. It's not like we talking about Teddy Bridgewater and Tua Tagovailoa. You know what I'm saying? Or – you know what I'm saying? This isn't Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Like, it's obvious that these guys are starters that I'm talking about. And if they were to get hurt, a guy will come back in. Jameis is a guy who the Saints, believe that he can do something, but he wasn't their number one choice. Deshaun Watson was. If Deshaun Watson said, hey, I want to come to the Saints for this particular money right here, or y'all can do this for me, I'm here, there would be no Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston has something to prove. And these last couple of games that he played in, whether it's fair or not, back hurt or not, the reality is, Hoodie, Zach, nobody cares. People care about winning, and they don't care what it looks like. They don't care what color it looked like. They don't care what the arm looked like. They just care about winning. And right now, Andy Dalton is making this offense look pretty good. And if they can spring off some wins, it's going to tap the tape, in my opinion, Andy Dalton possibly getting hurt for Jameis to come back.
See, my whole thing with that, and like, I agree. Like, I don't want to disrupt the rhythm. I mean, you're kind of seeing this. You're kind of seeing an even worse situation over there with Dallas. If Dallas goes out and beats Philadelphia, do you bring Dak back in, like, or you keep running with your boy Cooper? But with Jameis, the way I look at it is Andy Dalton will continuously win us games. He'll probably get us to the playoffs, but he's a game manager. I don't think it's enough talent behind it to be able to make the big plays to make, send us all the way or deeper into the playoffs. I think he's a guy that will consistently get us 10 wins, but I mean, I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of getting 10 wins for the last 10 years.
Fair enough. I agree. That's a good point. All I'm saying is, like, if he can spring off some wins and he can put the ball into the hands of the playmakers, which he did. Like, you put the ball in the hands of Taysom, you put the ball in the hands of Kamara. When Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis come back, you put the ball in their hands. Zach, there's not many games they're gonna lose, man.
Hey, no, that's true, man. That's true.
Just give them the ball, like so.
I mean, we've seen it in a whole bunch of different sports where the star goes out and then role players step up and they it seemed like the game moves easier because they're not trying to force things, not trying to over deliver things, not trying to live up to a standard. They're just trying to win football. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, because that's been my biggest complaint with Jameis, is that just because you have the arm doesn't mean you got to use it every single time you step up, into the pocket.
Well,
definitely.
I mean, Hoodie. I mean, one more thing, Hoodie. I mean, I like Jameis. You know what I'm saying? I want him to succeed, but I'm not looking at it from a, you know what I'm saying, like a certain standpoint, like, okay, man, he's the starter. He started the starter. He got hurt. I'm talking about winning, right? You know what I'm saying? Who is going to give you? Who is putting you in the best position to win? And if I'm telling you, if he's springing off wins and the offense looks stable, it's going to be hard for the Saints to go back to him. It's going to be hard for him, because you know the New Orleans Saints fan base. They are not going to accept if Andy Dalton is winning some games and the offense is looking good. Like, okay, Jameis is healthy now, let me bring him out. You already have people out here that have their reservations about it.
I mean,
it was a question, though.
It was a battle in the first place, whether who was going to start.
So do you think, would this be a different story, like the Cowboys situation, or like, Deshaun Watson, like you said? So let's say the Saints did go with Deshaun Watson, right? And he's suspended for the first 10 games, whatever the heck the game was.
Right.
And Andy Dalton's got you at 10-0 because the offense is just, doing good. He's the game management. He's doing your thing. He's winning you the games. Are you going to just keep playing for Andy Dalton and not worry about Deshaun Watson, who you're paying, or you're going to start the man because his name's Deshaun Watson? Like, you think that's why they would do that compared to, because Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton? I mean,
but wait, Deshaun Watson's guaranteed money. You better play him.
Exactly.
You better make him a water boy or something. I don't know. He better do some type of work.
That would be Gail Benson looking at you sideways, like, why in the heck is my multi-million-dollar quarterback not out there now? So that's a different situation. I mean, it's not both of these guys virtually making the same amount of money. I want to believe, like, Jameis basically got mostly guaranteed money, and his base salary was about $7 million, something like that, something like real cheap. So, that's easy to explain versus Deshaun Watson, who's making $250 guaranteed dollars, $250 million guaranteed dollars right now. Like, nah. You putting them out there. I don't care. I don't care if you're on a 14 game winning streak.
You in the Super Bowl, you haven't lost yet. Deshaun Watson back? Are you playing?
Exactly. Shoot.
Yeah. So I mean, that was just one of the questions, because like I said, maybe it's just because his name's Deshaun Watson, he's getting paid. But like we said, Jameis Winston's not really having a big contract, so it ain't like you got to force to play him. Was like I was saying, because I really do think we better off with a guy like Jameis, because the talent wise, the on talent, what you can do more. I think he's gonna run out the pocket once he's healthier, kind of take off where he left off last year and do stuff like that. But like I said, he was hurt. You can tell he didn't want to take a hit. He was just going to the ground. He wasn't, trying to do too much because he was hurt. And like I said before, you can tell in the first few games, once we fumbled the damn ball, they gave up on the run plays. But the last few games, they've been running no matter what happened, because like you said on your podcast, they keep fumbling and they keep shooting their damn self in the foot. And it's already going into week 6, and 5 weeks so far they've been doing the same thing. But luckily, we pulled out the win last week.
You know,
Mhm.
the one thing with James too that like I think it frustrates me the most is just how he doesn't call out blitzes at the line and doesn't do simple things that quarterbacks should do going into what he's what 28 now, something like that.
Yeah, it's like his 8th season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, man, you're telling me you can't see. I can see from the TV that they're about to send two, one from the safety, and then
Man, for
like,
real.
and you're not pointing it out. Like, even if your blockers ain't gonna block it, like at least hey,
Oh yeah.
you
Like
know,
you said.
every other quarterback, that plays, plays at a high tier, they're making. But I know we talk about Derek Carr a lot. That Derek Carr looked like ass yesterday, but every single play, that dude's calling out every single blitz that was coming through.
Yeah.
Every single one. We never see James do it. We never see
Wow.
him do it.
Yeah,
And we
that's
saw
crazy.
that we saw that with Andy. We saw that with him.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier on the podcast from the other day. I said it's crazy. I said, "Oh yes, I'm so happy the Saints got the W against the Seahawks, man." And I said, "Yes, Andy Dalton, he's calling out the blitzes." And I said, the sad part is, I see multiple plays where he literally called out the blitz, and the O line didn't do a damn thing about it. They just
I mean,
go right on in. I'm like, so maybe that's why Jamie didn't call it out. Jamie said, "Why I need to waste my breath to call it out? He ain't gonna pick it up anyway. I might as well just say HUD and just go with the play." I mean,
Well,
but
I'm gonna still call it out because look on film, it looked like I'm doing the right thing. Not
Right.
and they're not. You know, so I'm still gonna call it out. But yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, look, the biggest Jameis Winston supporter. I like to feel like I'm in that number. I'm a big supporter. But even a bigger supporter, I have to admit, like the offense just looks better when Andy Dalton running. Like the way he has command of the offense. And this is not a shot at Jameis, because sometimes when people call out actualities, all of a sudden, you don't like him. You're a hater. You know, like, no, I'm just calling out what's obvious. What's obvious is he has a command. And I just feel like the way the Saints offense is structured, like he kind of fits it like a glove. I mean, their offense was designed to have those short intermediate routes, throw the ball out of the backfield, and kind of just stay ahead of the chains. And that's where Andy Dalton is pretty good at this stage of his career.
I mean, that's a good point that you bring up too, because I hate the term system quarterbacks. Like, what if you're the owner of an NFL team and you have a quarterback? Aren't you going to build a system around him? He's the one that's going to touch the ball
exactly
every time. Just about
exactly.
The only person that touches the board is the center. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I like what you said there too, because you said short, immediate passes and stuff like Drew Brees did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. I would love, like he said, like Zach said earlier, I love the 10 season wins. We're in the playoffs. But once you get there, you're done because you're doing too many short, immediate routes. And remember last year, for the last few years, Drew Brees, man, we love you. Please retire, man. You got a noodle on. We need them deep passes. Now you got a deep ball guy, and we don't want to put him back in the offense, and we're just going to keep the game management. We're going to make it to the playoffs because, hey, Andy Dalton's, doing good. We went in, and then we're going to maybe end up like the Drew Brees part where the defense just wants to play up close and we're not going deep. I mean, I think Andy Dalton's arm's still a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's what I'm about to
would
say.
say that.
That's what I'm about to say. I want you to understand this is the same offense that Drew Brees ran in 2014 when he still had a little bit of a live arm. And Andy Dalton can get the ball over the top. Like, he doesn't have like the arm strength of a Jameis. Not many quarterbacks do. But he can get the ball down the field. And I will tell you, look no further than that pass that set up that 61-yard field goal in Minnesota when homeboy threw a dime to Chris Olave. Like, Chris Olave had 3 defenders around him, and he had to put that ball in the exact place where it needed to be in order for Olave to make that catch. So Andy Dalton, he still got a rifle on him now. You know what I'm saying? He called him a red rifle for a reason. But I mean, you don't have to like have a 60-yard, bomb of an arm throwing the ball up your back foot like a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. As long as you get the ball down the field to a point where your defense can actually respect you and they'll just play the chains, then I think that you still have a chance. That was the biggest issue in the postseason. Drew Brees couldn't get the ball, past 20 yards. And teams knew that, so they just kind of set on routes. And,
that was the sad part about it is that you know how talented each player was but
Yeah.
the defense knew like Drew Brees ain't throwing it past 30 yards at that. So like that's what made it hard for us. But I did want to ask you a quick question, while you're on here.
Mm-hmm.
With Deontay Hardy most likely missing the rest of the season, we were discussing this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Does Callaway or Taysom Hill or Jarvis Landry, continue to get some returns and stuff? Or do we finally bring in the guy Rashid Shaheed? Well, Nick Underhill posted today. Rashid Shaheed is going to be coming up this week from practice squad and, be doing the punt returns. So
Right.
what do you think about Rashid Shaheed? Do you think he's going to come out here, do his thing, and take Deontay Hardy's spot, and Hardy's going to be out of here?
Well, that was the whole plan anyway. I mean, let's just be real, man. Deontay Hardy has been so disinterested. I mean, you could have told me that he had a turf toe injury in week 1 and I would have believed you. Like, he just has not been the same guy this entire season. I mean, he's been disinterested. The body language looks terrible. I don't know if he's just upset about a contract or what, but this opens up an opportunity for Rashid Shaheed to actually make some plays. And honestly, I feel like this is what the Saints probably were going to do anyway. I mean, how do you replace the best kick return in NCAA history? Well, you replace him with the guy who broke his records. You know what I'm saying? So
I like how you said that. How Hardy just looks like this. Like you wouldn't even have known if he had turf toe in week 1 because I didn't even realize he was out in the beginning of the season. And until someone pointed it up, and I was like, oh wait, Hardy isn't there. I was like, damn. I was wondering where he was at. I didn't even realize the difference.
He looked terrible, Zach. He looked terrible, man. Like his body language on the sidelines, him pouting and soaking. Like you can't fake that. You know what I'm saying? Like what he did was he ran. I think it was the time when he fumbled in the game, and he just went on the sidelines. It just looked like he just could care less. I just feel like he just disinterested. But he's gonna end up like going somewhere else. My advice to him is hopefully he get a call from New England, because I feel like that would probably be a best place for him based on his size and how they've done in the past, making those smaller receivers look like, world beaters. Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, that might be a good place for him. But I just think that, and I can't blame him, right? I mean, last year, Deontay Harris, I got to put emphasis on that, Harris, not Hardy, was the best wide receiver on the Saints team when Michael Thomas went down. He was a deep threat. And for weeks, he was the best wide receiver on the team. And you go from that to not even getting any playing time because you got Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave taking your spot. I would feel some type of way about that too. So I'm not mad at him. But at the same time, you're a professional. And teams are going to be paying attention to your body language and the way that you're playing once your production went down. And that's not a good look for him, man, because it's going to make teams believe, like, if things don't go his way, he's going to phone it in.
Definitely. And Mr. TJ and Zach, I wanted to talk this out a little bit more because my brother, the right, who that team, my man, he said Juby's trying to sell Jameis, trying to sell Jameis. hey, I'm a biggest Jameis supporter, but hear me out on this one. But hear me out on this one, though. Like we said before, and I'm going to say it again. We running the ball more, right? Now, hear me out on this. They all like, hey, Andy Dalton didn't win the Vikings game, but I think we could have won if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. He could have won that game. Well, guess what? Jameis would have won against the Panthers if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. Fumble recovery for a touchdown, missed 2 field goals, stuff like that. We lost by a certain amount of points. I think we could have won that game even though Jameis was hurt. Same thing with the Vikings game. We shot ourselves in the foot. That's why Andy Dalton lost. Bullshit call by the refs, at the end. I think that kind of shot us in ourselves foot too. But then we say, okay, well, Andy Dalton won last game. If we're really being honest with our fans, did Andy Dalton really win you the game, or was it Taysom Hill running the ball and drawing a touchdown and running 3 touchdowns? Like, he was the main man that did it. Because like I said, if Jameis was at quarterback and played the same way Dalton did, they would have been like, Jameis didn't win that game. Taysom won.
This is one. I want to say there's way too many intangibles with all this right now, because this was the first week that play calling looked decent. Like, I don't know if Pete Cartmichael finally flipped his pillow over to the cold side and decided to wake up in the morning and get ready for some football. That, and they're running the ball more, but is that part of the play, like, game plan with him back there? Like, were they trying to give Jameis more reps? Like, is that just bad organizing of your playbook for him? I don't know. Like, just like TJ said earlier, man, like, winning is important. I guess where I weigh in, where I would like to see Jameis get another shot, is just that Andy Dalton is going to be, he's going to have a couple more years left to be useful. And then And then what? Then we're back to square one again. I mean, obviously we don't want to lose the talent that we have on offense right now, and all these great pieces and stuff like that. But I mean, at some point we got to find the next something. Not saying that Jameis is it, because I mean it ain't looking like he is, but like I want to know that. I want to know for sure that he isn't, and then I want to be able to start looking and figuring it out. And this season obviously we can't, because Philadelphia's got our first pick. So that's another thing to go into consideration. If Andy's just going to win games, like, I mean, let him win games, because I do not want to see Philly get a top 10, top 15 pick. I don't want to see that at all.
But I mean, I need y'all to answer this question though. What y'all think though? Because this is just how I see it and how I see our fans. Andy Dalton, he's winning us the games. But I mean, like I said, did he really win you the game against the Seahawks last game, or was it the Taysom Hill running? Because like I said, if Jameis would have played and we won, they would have said Taysom won the game, not Jameis. Stop trying to act like Jameis is good. That's what people would say, because I just know how people react when I say Jameis did good. I even said Dalton did good. He did throw one pick, but other than that, I think he played solid. But Taysom Hill and Kamara was the reason why I think we really won this game, because they just played lights out.
That's this old saying, Hoodie. They say you don't want to be the man after the man. You don't want to be the and what Jameis has the title of being is the man who followed the man. You know what I'm saying? Drew Brees was the man, and everybody is comparing him to Drew Brees. His decision making to Drew Brees. Everybody's like, he ain't Drew Brees, man. That ain't it.
Ain't nobody gonna be Drew.
Now it's like it could be anybody at this particular point. Oh Lord, he throwing picks. Andy Dalton, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they feel about it. So because if this was Andy following Drew, then he would have that same energy. And Jameis would be in the same position as Andy is right now. It's just the fact that where they're positioned. And to answer your question, Hoodie, about the did he help them win the game? Yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying? Not like in a way like Taysom did. I mean, it was obvious. But third down conversion rate was at the highest point. There was some throws that he made in the game to sustain drives. You know what I'm saying? That pass that he threw to Chris Olave for a touchdown. A couple passes that he converted on third down. Traquan Smith decided that he had stones for hands. And but I mean, look, I think that they all contribute. Taysom contribute in a Herculean way, but Andy Dalton had his hands on the ball more times than not. And you know what I'm saying? He was sustaining drives. They had their highest third down conversion rate, and they would be able to sustain drives. This is probably they controlled the time of possession, and that's what you want. So no, he didn't do it in like the way Taysom did, but he still had a control on the game to a point where he allowed the team to win. That interception didn't help, but I mean,
I was just curious what y'all thought would be on that. That's what I was just saying, because like I said, if we would have had Jameis in and he would have performed just mediocre, 180 something yards, doing what he needed to do, but Taysom was just running his thing and balled out like that, and we said we won and Jameis did good. I know those Jameis haters would have been
of course. We know that.
It's exactly what TJ just said. It's because Jameis came after Breeze. All the pressure's on him. There's no pressure on Andy Dalton at all right now. He's not feeling a damn thing. He loses. He's our backup. Oh man, we lost, so we had our backup in. He wins. Oh man, he might look like a starter now. He could do no wrong right now. He could do no wrong.
Isn't this some shit though? Some shit, I put this in the chat and I had to put it up here. He said Jameis always got a new head coach every year though, and it's crazy. He came to the Saints. I'm like, oh, we're about to be good. He sat behind Drew. He's got Sean Payton again. He looked good last year too. And then what happened? Sean Payton retires. I'm like, God damn it! Now he's got another head coach. We're trying a new, thing. Now we're gonna see what Pete Carmichael brings to the table. See if he's still gonna run the same thing. Now I didn't notice the last two games they finally ran some plays, but this game I think they ran like two of them. They finally ran some screen passes. Where has that been? That's Kamara's. That's Kamara's game right there, and y'all haven't been doing that. So you notice they did that lately. Last game, and we actually got some success first downs off of them. So. That used to be the Sean Payton's play, screens, but I haven't really seen that this year, if you noticed. So maybe we'll bring that back. Maybe we're going to keep running the ball with Taysom and, Kamara, stuff like that. And I hope Jordan Howard will be the one that I think we pick up because, to be honest, I do think he can outbeat Mark Ingram for that running back too. And But like I said, Rasisa, he should be coming. I'm ready to see what this man brings to the table. I'm hoping everybody's healthy for this game. Like I said, I want to see a healthy versus healthy team. I want to see shootout. I think it's gonna be fun. Now, I don't want to see them, killing our defense, but I'm saying it would be a fun matchup like the Seahawks, where it's just Saints up by 12 and then
Look,
blew the
I just,
lead, but then we came back.
I just want to be walking out that tunnel yelling "Who dat?" That's all I want to do.
Man, I don't care if it's about a field goal. I don't
that's-
care. I don't care if Joe Burrow run out the back of the end zone like Jimmy Garoppolo did a couple weeks ago. Look, a win is a win.
I'm telling you.
Well, hey,
Poor
but
Jimmy.
look at this. If you don't run out, if you're not walking out the tunnel at the Superdome yelling "Who dat?" you're gonna be yelling "Who dat?"
Hey, now, if I hear that, man, I'm bringing earbuds just in case.
Right here, but so Mr. TJ, is there anything that's that you have on your mind, for this game? What do you see? Like, what do the Saints have to do to beat a talented team like the Bengals, who are basically, like we said earlier, they are struggling at their O-line again this year, even though they added 3 Pro Bowlers.
You got to get pressure on Joe Burrow. You got to be able to get pressure on him. If you don't, he gonna pick you apart. And the thing about it is, like, you got to be able to pay attention to your assignment, because there's one tough son of a gun. Like, for real, like, there's a guy that, like they said, they had their old saying, take a licking and keep on ticking. That's him. Like, he constantly is under the rest. A lot of it is self-inflicted because he holds on to the ball too long, in my opinion. But still, he takes a lot of punishment, and he still will go out there and hold that ball so Jamar Chase can get behind your defense. So the Saints going to have to play discipline. That's why I said on my podcast, I think they need to play the same similar defense they play against Tampa, the same one. Because if you look at it, when Tampa is stretched across the board, when it comes to Tom Brady, he has like the same amount of weapons at his disposal as Joe Burrow will have at his disposal come Sunday. So to me, I think they need to approach this game the same way they approach Tampa. Don't try to blitz Joe Burrow. Try to get home with 4. If that offensive line has been as suspect as we know they have been, then this should be a game where Cam Jordan, Street, Onyemata, Davenport, these guys should be able to, get some pressure on Joe Burrow to get him off his spot. But you do not want to blitz him, because I feel like those one-on-ones, especially if you don't have Lattimore, it's going to be up top pork chop all day. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamar Chase going to be eating,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? Like, without Lattimore being out there. So you got to be careful.
It's funny. Definitely. It's funny with Joe. I was watching the game, last night, and whenever the Raiders were putting a bunch of pressure on Patrick Mahomes and doing all this, and like everybody in my chat was like, "Oh man, hey, they getting too Patrick Mahomes." I said, "That's not a good thing. That dude is better under duress," and I feel like Joe Burrow is kind of like that too. Like, he likes being pressured, man. He plays good when he has the pressure on him. But I will say, whenever they played the Ravens, he did come out and say the way the Ravens played them made their team look like, man, like they couldn't get a damn thing going. They covered up top high, didn't allow for the deep pass, threatened them to try and kill them, in short yardage, and they struggled with that. I'm assuming Dennis Allen is watching a lot of tape on that, because I tried to watch the game, and like I was falling asleep. It was so boring. I couldn't believe Ravens Bengals game was boring as what it was.
Oh, definitely. That game wasn't as fun as I thought it would. Some people saying that Jamar Chase is kind of disappointment this year than what they thought, especially in fantasy. But, I think Jamar Chase is still that talented dude. You still got to watch out for him any given moment, because you saw what DK and Tyler Lockett did to our secondary, who was banged up. Like we said, it wasn't the healthiest, secondary. That's why I still wish we would have never got rid of CD Deuce. But at the same time, we did have a lot of depth, and now all that depth is on IR and injury reports right now. So
our defense
we need to
can't
get
play any
healthy
worse
for sure.
than last week, huh? Can they play any worse than last week?
I think it was Jono. I think it was Jono Barnes that said this earlier on Twitter. He said, I'm letting y'all who that fans know now, this injury report this Wednesday, I can't wait. It's gonna be longer than a CVS receipt. That's what he said. And it's probably gonna be true. But Mr. TJ, before you do leave, I know you're gonna head out soon. Mr. Jerry, the old freaking G man, wants to come on and chat it up with you for a little bit. So let me play his little intro to introduce him on here, and we're gonna bring him on the show real quick. You know who it is, Jerry. Oh, he's got his stuff on mute. Where's the music? I'm waiting for the music. Here we go. There we go.
Oh, that's smooth jazz today.
Man, Jerry got that Cadillac music.
Yeah, right. Cruising through the palms, man.
Oh yeah, baby.
What's going on, Jerry? How you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Appreciate that smooth Cadillac music, man.
Man, you mad I had to go a little old school tonight, TJ.
Man, I ain't mad at you, man.
And I know Hoodie Jube and Zach feeling the vibe too.
Hey.
Oh, bruh, where can I start?
Wherever you want to start, Jerry.
After that game Sunday, oh my goodness. We 2-3. I'll say it like that.
I'll take it.
Win is a win, for real. I ain't care how they got. I'm like, just win. God dog. At that particular point, all that losing, coming on doing 3 straight weeks of losing shows, like, man, just win a game. I don't care how. I'm telling you, I did not care how they won on Sunday. I'm like, just win. But I'm just glad they got that victory. Nobody cares at the end of the day. As long as you win.
But Hoodie, if you would have seen the halftime show from TJ from this past Sunday, oh my God, I had to come on there and try to calm him down, bro.
Man, I was hot.
Man,
hot.
You was ranting. I said, bro.
Man, I was hot. I was hot.
You were.
Yeah, I was angry, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, one thing that really bothers me is like when somebody just do the same thing over and over again. You be like, man, it's like it just was so frustrating. It was like watching the Saints game like on replay, like what's about to happen. You ever seen that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? He wakes up the same day and it's the same thing. It's the same. It was like, I'm like, man, why y'all like why they can't get out their own way? God, that was frustrating to me, man. Yep. I'm glad they bounced back, but man, that was frustrating.
Yep, but as soon as you wrapped up, TJ, they was just starting the second half, and Seattle had the ball, and your boy DK Metcalf had the ball turned over by Pete Warner.
Yeah, man.
And I say that, and that's when I think after that halftime speech that you had, that really
had you in the locker room.
Maybe they did have it on. I don't know, but whatever it was, man. I'm just glad they
heard your speech.
Well, I'm glad they was able to turn it around. But like I said, that was just frustrating, man. It's one thing. Like, I think we all can agree with this. If the Saints were just terrible, like if they were just awful, and it just was a bad team and they didn't have the talent, I think we all would be on agreement. Like, it's just not our year. But when you look, you got Kamara, and you know what I'm saying, you got Thomas, and I'm talking about before these guys got hurt, and you got all this talent, and you only got one win to show for it. Like it's frustrating, man.
And
like,
a struggle win too. At that, not even a blowout.
You had all your guys ready, and we're going into the season with new guys and being healthy and stuff, and then next thing you know, here come the injuries.
Yes,
I'm like, oh Lord.
I think I saw something earlier today. It was someone came out with some like report. It was like ranking the healthiest teams in the league right now, and we are like at 29. And I'm like, yep, nothing new.
No. I don't know how you can avoid it. I honestly don't. I don't know either. Like, you can't keep these guys in bubble wrap. You know what I'm saying? You can't wrap them up in bubble wrap during the game. I mean,
are you sure we can't? Are you sure we can't?
You can put flags. You can put flags around them and just do flag football for quarterbacks only.
But I want to get y'all opinion about this, man. I'm sorry, I gotta go in a second, but I just want to get y'all opinion. Do y'all think this has anything to do with a lot of these guys not playing in preseason, not getting their bodies like fully prepared for the regular season. Because like, man, your body is basically going to a shock. This is like 6-7 months. It depends on where you were, if you made the playoffs or not. But this is like 6-7 months of your body not absorbing any type of punishment whatsoever. And you go into the game week 1 and your body take that first shot. It's like, man, what the heck was that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, anyone that's played football in high school, y'all all know the first day of pads.
Yeah,
boy. And if you don't play football, you can tell because you looking at every single one of them walking, man, cripple walking all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with that, man. I've been saying it. A lot of people disagree with me, and so I'm glad you might be on my side because I don't know why you don't play him a little bit more. I don't understand why you don't get some of those licks in. Why don't you get some full speed in before the season starts? It's always a ugly beginning of the season. Always, for all teams.
Zach, it's optics, man. It's optics. It's basically like, think about this. Look at this headline. I want y'all to see this. Michael Thomas injured week 3 of preseason. How would that make you feel? Man, what is he doing out there? Versus Michael Thomas injured week 1 versus Falcons. Which one would you be willing to accept? The week 1 injury, right? Because it happened in a regular season. So a lot of these teams are kind of shying away from the Monday morning quarterback and shows like ours where we read them the riot act for making stupid decisions. But you can't honestly, I appreciate it if you listen, but you shouldn't listen to me. You shouldn't listen to anybody that's telling you this. You should coach the team the way you coach the team. And that's the reason why you should have depth. You know what I'm saying? For situations, because it's not a matter of if a guy gets hurt. It's a matter of when. These guys are going to get hurt. This is a physical game that they play. So you got to be able to have good depth in order for you to be able to counteract your stars going down. But not playing in preseason, I mean, I just feel like that is one of the main reasons. Exactly, Hoodie. You're rusty and your body's not
your chemistry.
Your chemistry, your body's not fully prepared, and you haven't absorbed that much punishment for your body to really kind of get used to what you're going to be enduring for the next 18 weeks, So, I mean, it's just, to me, I think they need to play preseason more. I ain't saying you got to be out there all game long.
Just at least one quarter.
Yes, at least one quarter.
At least one quarter each game. By the way, Zach, TJ, and Mr. Jared, I know we're about to end the podcast soon, but we do have a special guest that just popped in real quick, and I know, TJ, you'll love to hear from this man. This is the best music artist in the world, my man, T.I. You can have whatever you like. Have whatever you like.
Slim South, man. How you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ? What's up, family? How y'all doing? Who that to y'all, man?
Who that,
it's been
man?
a minute.
Man.
Nice to meet you, man.
It's been a while, man.
Nice
It definitely has.
Shout out to TJ. Glad to meet you, TJ. I love you. I love your podcast, bro. I'm on there all the time with you.
Yeah,
bro.
I know, man. It's good to put a voice and a face with the name, man. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the support you give and all the commentary, that you provide for the show, man. Thank you so much, man.
Much love, bro. What's up, Zach? What's going on with you?
Hey, man, living Slim. I know, man. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, damn, I haven't seen Slim in this bug in a while. I think it was since last season I hadn't seen you in here, bro. Where you been? You hiding?
Been working, man. Them bills don't stop, bro. Bills do not stop.
I hear that.
What up, OG?
What's going on, fam?
Man, let's get to 3-3. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He already done claimed it on his profile.
That's right. Already know. Look, it's already established.
Right.
But
it's already done.
But I'm gonna say this much to y'all, family. Who that nation? We lead the league in giveaways. We got to change that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop fumbling the ball. We got to stop turning the ball over. That's my only concern. Other than that, I think we'll be just fine. For as Mark Ingram, I still think he has a little gas in the tank, so I think he'll be all right. I think we need to use the fullback a little more, too. I haven't been seeing that in a while.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, what kind of gas we talking about here, okay? If he on Poydras Street, can he get the canal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can get that. He can get that, TJ.
Okay, can he get the St. Claude from Poydras? Like, where we going here?
I think he gotta have He got a half a tank left. I'm gonna give him
Okay,
a half a
okay.
tank.
All right. Yeah, he get the medal in with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think we
out
should
the practice fields.
But I really think Ingram. I think we could use him in the screen game too. Like he specializes in that too as well.
Yeah.
And
why do I feel like we've totally gotten away from like running 3 running backs?
Man, thank you.
Because man, that used to be like our bread and butter for the longest time. Reggie, Deuce, and Pierre, and we kept going with that for a long time, and we just got away from it right once. I feel like it was whenever AK and Ingram kind of like were the shit McGrits, bro, like they were doing it all. I had to come up with a funny word because you always have funny words, TJ, and I can't compete. That's what I got. But yeah, why we got away from that? What are we doing? What's the thought process behind it?
I don't know, man. I think it has something to do with the roster, the way that they build it. You have to take into account. You got to take into account like how many guys you have on special teams, like how many guys you're going to have in that wide receiver rotation, so on defensive line. So I think it has a lot to do with that. And the Saints like throw the ball everywhere, so they go keep about 5-6 wide receivers on the sidelines. And they always keep 3 running backs, if to be honest with you, because Dwayne Washington, but he plays on special teams. Right. So they have 3 running backs that be on the active roster, but it's not to a point where they're actually utilizing him consistently. But I definitely agree with you, Zach. I mean, we see teams like the 49ers, they find that success with those 3 running back sets. We see the Tennessee Titans, they kind of utilize that sometimes with Derrick Henry and a couple more change of pace backs. Jonnu Smith, when he was there, they used to use him in the backfield. 49ers, I mean, not only do they use 3 running backs, but they use Debo Samuels too. So that's
they got four.
Yeah, I just think that people just fall in love with the dynamic of the aerial assault, and they don't have an appreciation for the running game anymore. But I'm kind of old school with it, man. I really love when a team is imposing their will with the running game, and there's nothing a defense can do. I think
it's good. I think it's good football. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I think it's great football.
It's psychological. It messes with you psychologically too, because it's
look at what happened with the Seahawks. This past week. I mean, they're throwing all over us, right? Mm-hmm. But look what was happening to that defense. They could no longer stop the run anymore because the Seahawks were going out and scoring in 2 minutes, and then we were running down their throats for 8. And then it got to the point where they couldn't catch they couldn't catch Taysom. They couldn't catch anybody. They couldn't do anything anymore. They were so beaten up.
Can I say this? And I'm gonna be this is my personal opinion. I think the Saints should be a run first offense.
Oh yeah, I mean, we definitely on board with that. I am. I can't speak for everybody in here, but I'm on board with it. Hey, but fellas, I got to go ahead and go, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. Man, shouts out to everybody here. I see Guard of Creation came through. I see Brandon down there, man. Shouts out to y'all. Hoodie, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you for coming, man.
Much love, TJ. Have a good one, bro.
All right.
Do that.
Love you, TJ, man.
All right, take it easy, man. Peace.
All right.
Yo, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So,
what's up?
So does everyone like the running game? Because personally,
except
that
for
shit
you,
is boring.
I knew you were coming.
That shit is so boring.
I knew you were coming in.
It's been a long
running. That's just not cool.
What's up,
That's not cool in the NFL. It's not cool in Madden. It's not cool anywhere, man. That's just so boring.
Yo, God of creation. Would you rather be boring and win games?
Well, shit, we weren't winning with running, so shit.
Yep.
We weren't running until this week. What you talking about?
We were running to this week.
Man,
The
we were
run
running
game has picked up.
Before this week. We ran the first week. We ran second week. It just wasn't efficient. Let's not act like the running backs weren't just all
right. So
slipping that ball out.
So I'll agree with you on that. We don't have a running back that needs to be doing a draw, right side, left side handoff every single time. Like there needs to be some variation in the runs too.
Facts.
I'll agree with you on that.
And I would say this too: we didn't really run the ball as much as we did the last few weeks because every time we fumbled, they gave up on the shit.
That's
right.
Facts.
Facts, Hoodie.
Well, and to be honest, they should. Dude, like somebody got punched Kamara in his fucking mouth like he did that other,
Oh.
like he did the dude who was talking about his girlfriend, because ain't no way in hell, like, Kamara, if you don't stop fumbling the ball, bro, I will cut your damn dreads off your head, man. What is wrong with you? Fumbling the ball. You get paid too much to be fun. This is why I don't like running, because when we run, it's like, whoo, yes, running, whoop. Oh, damn, fumble, fumble, fumble. Now they score 7. Like, man, that shit happened every time they fumbled. We got to stop that shit. Somebody's gotta learn. And Dennis Allen, he ain't got the balls enough to be like, you know what, come here, you gonna
Got a
sit your
creation.
ass
Let me
on
cut
that
you off.
sideline.
That's the main point right there. That's on the coaching staff. You got to hold your players accountable.
Fact, yeah, you gotta hold them accountable, man, because apparently they don't give no two. I see him smiling every
What's
time
up,
he
Brandon?
fumble. Like, what?
What's up, dog? How you doing, man? I got a little opinion on the run game. With the quarterback situation right now, you've got Alvin Kamara, and you got Taysom Hill back there, and you're a little shaky quarterback. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like we have an all-pro quarterback coming out there. We don't have Drew Brees no more. That running game, you set that running game up, and now we start getting healthy. Teams have another thing that they got to start worrying about. They got to start worrying about Taysom Hill. They got to worry about Kamara. You're building. You're just building, man. Now we get MT back. Olave. Hopefully he plays this week. That boy has stepped up, and as a rookie, oh my God, man. I'm on the floor with that guy. He's done everything that we needed him to do. You get MT back. Jarvis comes back. Now you can throw that whole different dynamic out there. And yeah, this team will run on you. What did we run on? We ran 296 yards? Well, that's including Kamara's reception, but that's something you got to worry about. And now you get all these other guys on the field. How are you going to match up with that? And Dalton, I'm going to say Jameis even. We're going to have to play those guys as game managers. Jameis is he's a gunslinger, and we'll live and die by that if he's the starter. That's just what it's going to be. So you take the ball out of his hands a little bit, play a little more conservative, get the run game down. That's fine. The run game's won many Super Bowls. Sometimes the best defenses win Super Bowls, and they can't throw the damn ball nowhere. So I don't think it's a liability to push that run game. I think that's good for us at this point.
Yeah. I think if you
totally agree.
I think if you get the run game going, especially like we did this past weekend with Taysom Hill, you get him 100 plus yards, Kamara gets 100 plus yards, and you put him and you put that type of run style and run plays with a healthy Jameis in there. Oh my Lord, that would help him out so much better. Like I said, I'll say it again, and a lot of people say, "Well, you're just trying to sell us. You're trying to sell us, Jameis Winston." Yeah, I'm a big supporter, and matter of fact, like I said earlier, the first 3 games that Jameis played, the man has 4 fractures in the back. He came off an ACL injury. The people are fumbling and turn over the ball, and they said, "F the run play, let's pass it." Why are you making this man pass 40 times a game with a fractured back? First of all, you should have just been running the ball. If they fumbled it, that's on them, and blame the game on them, and not try to blame it all on Jameis now. And it's like the Panthers game. Yeah, Jameis wasn't the best, but guess what? The man still drew 350-something yards with a fractured back and didn't lose that game because of him. We lost because Kamara fumbled. They picked it up for a score. That's 7 points. You missed 2 extra. You missed 2 field goals. One was blocked. One was just completely missed. That's 13 points. We only lost by I think it was 8 or 9 points that game. So, I mean, we could have won if it was right there. Simple stuff. So, like I was saying, I do think if you get this running game going like we did, and you get a healthy Jameis back, it's going to be a nice ass explosive team. But some people say, well, you don't want to interrupt to the Andy Dalton thing. Andy Dalton is doing his thing, protecting the ball and being a game manager. But I think Jameis is a game manager too, if he really wanted to, if he really wanted this big game manager. But we know
you ain't gonna win
playoff
say, games, Andy.
But when you got an arm talent like Jameis, like you see Mahomes out there. Mahomes ain't game manager. He's doing that shit out there. He's just talented. You're a talented quarterback. Guess what? The crazy part, Mahomes can throw 5 picks in a game, but he might throw 7 touchdowns too, and be like, Mahomes, go. But Jameis does the same thing. he's trash.
That's right.
Because it's
That's
Jameis
right.
Winston. It's because it's the name, it's the favoritism. People don't see it like that, and that's why I'm trying to tell people. You got to keep the same energy for the same amount of players. So if Mahomes does it, and Tom Brady does it, or this quarterback does it, why don't you keep the same energy and say they trash right now? That was a horrible game. Why? Because their name's Tom Brady. Because his name's Mahomes. I mean, that's why
Right.
I support the guy
That's,
Jameson. That's why I feel like I gotta have his back more than other people would. I mean,
it's
that's my
always
opinion.
gonna be like that. I don't feel like that's ever gonna change. That's never gonna change. People are always gonna have that biased view and be like, well, if you're the best, then you can make the errors because you already proved you're the best and blah 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 and the other nonsense. But I feel like we just need to be
I
balanced.
think it comes different. I think it comes with a little bit of Breeze goes out and throws 3 picks in a week. We're like, yeah, he threw 3 picks this week, but he's not going to throw 3 more picks for the rest of the season. We had that confidence. We had that. Now we're kind of wearing some muddy waters right now, so it feels different. It feels different for us. We were spoiled. We were damn sure spoiled. We had one of the best that ever did it.
Well, I don't think that's only Saints fans. I think that's the majority of a lot of other fan bases that think a lot like that.
I don't know, y'all. Like I said, it's just that you don't want to mess up the flow of winning.
Right.
But the question is, yes, he's calling out some of the blitzes. Yes, he's doing this. Yes, he's doing this right. But to be honest with you, I think even if we would have just kept doing what we was doing with Andy Dalton, and you said, hey, Andy Dalton, do what Jameis was doing. Pass it 40-something times and don't run it with Taysom Hill and Kamara like we did last game, we would have never won that game. We would have never been in that game. And we would have lost, and y'all would have been like, damn, Andy Dalton's 0-2, bro. What we going to do now? See, but we happy that we won. And it ain't like we can say we continue winning. We won 1 game with them so far. So
Right,
it ain't like
that's
we
what
won
I'm talking
5
about.
straight games.
That's right.
That's where I'm kind of lost too. They act like we won the Vikings. We haven't
Right,
lost
facts.
like,
I don't understand. I'm on the same page as you. People acting like Andy has been going crazy. I'm like, what the hell kind of games you seeing? Because last time I checked, he lost. He's lost more than he's win. We won 1 game, and we won the game against the second most penalized team, which is right after us, and then the second, like they're just bad. They're a bad defense and a bad running defense and a bad disciplined defense. They're just bad, and we're celebrating having a good offense against a bad defense, which is kind of just sad.
But to be honest with you, God of creation, we just needed to win a game. We were on a 3-game losing streak. We needed that win, no matter who it was.
I didn't say we didn't need to win.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, we just needed that win. I don't care who it was.
Just something.
Yeah, we need to win bad.
Hey, let me
That's
ask
right.
you
What's
this.
up, the right?
Yo, what up? How y'all doing?
Well, I definitely feel like
the right's about to come
what
on.
up, dog? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling. Hey, let me ask you a
No,
question.
I definitely feel like Allen definitely took a different approach.
Right.
Right.
I mean, but let me
I'll
ask
say
you this.
Pete. I think it's more Pete doing the
Think
play
about it
calling.
like this. Think about it like this. When Jameis is in the game, the first thing that they say that they were going to work on is they were going to design plays where for his strengths.
Yep.
And when you think about that from that perspective, and you look at the last few games that have been played, his strength is passing the ball further than 10 yards because that's his strength. And so Pete Carmichael, I felt, in my personal opinion, that he was trying to appease Jameis and what Jameis does best. But when you do that, you take away the element of what the Saints offense is. And the Saints offense is not the Saints don't have a Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. They don't go down the field 90% of the time. That's not what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's not the Saints offense.
Right.
The Saints offense is designed to be close knit. So with that being said, I do believe that Sean Payton took that approach as far as that, hey, guess what? We're going to keep this thing close knit. We're going to do that. But Pete is trying to appease his quarterback. Plus, that's what his quarterback does. Now, go
My
ahead.
bad. You keep going. My bad. You can finish, man. I'm sorry.
But with that being said, I do believe if Pete Carmichael, because don't forget, this game, I think personally shows something to Pete Carmichael. Show Pete Carmichael that I can stick to what we do best and win games. And Pete, when Jameis come back, because mind you, I saw Andy Dalton throw some passes that if it would have been Jameis throwing the ball, they would have landed. Like the one he threw behind, the one that Andy Dalton threw behind Chris Olave. If Jameis would have been in the game, he would have made that pass because of his strength of his arm and the velocity. So you can see that, but he has to also, once again, he have to say to himself, the offense that we run, Jameis can run that offense. I don't have to become a Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense because Jameis can run my offense. And if Jameis run that offense, we saw what happened. Jameis can put up 35 points
Right.
easily.
You
We saw that
He can
last
light
year.
it up.
So,
Yeah,
you know
we've seen it. We've
so
seen it.
it's
We've
not that.
seen it.
So it's not that I'm against Jameis. It's just that I'm against Pete trying to appease him because guess what? The offense works. You just got to
why
do
are
it.
you against that though? I feel like the great coaches always make it work. Look at the Ravens. They
But
they adjusted to Lamar. Look at the Chiefs. They adjusted to all the great coaches
You
adjust
have
to their
to.
QB.
yeah,
Why
but
we? I guess we don't have great coaching then, because
no,
we
it's
the
not
only team
that.
that
It's
can
just that.
adjust to our QB. You are
It's
what
not that.
you are the your offense is what your QB is. If I
It's
have a
not that.
Lamar, I'm not going to try to throw the ball 40, 50 times deep. I'm going to try to have a complementary run game and have a QB sneaks and have screenplays and mix in my offense through the QB.
Yeah,
If
but you
if I
got to
have
have.
a
All right,
Patrick Mahomes, I can go and
right,
pass the ball 40
right.
times.
But you got to
Yeah,
have an offensive line that can give you the time to give
We
you that.
do.
And that offensive line hadn't gelled for game one, game two, or game three.
right. It took them some time. It took man, absolutely. It absolutely took some time. Look, I think what we're witnessing right now, we're witnessing uh New Orleans Saints offense uh for being forced to adapt right now, to
Right.
adjust. We're witnessing
That's
an
a fact.
offense that is depleted with the wide receiver.
Hello, hello.
I think he cut out.
Yes.
Hey, that sports you cut out.
That's sports. You hear?
It says he's on mute
Yeah,
now.
I think he was just saying the wide receiver core is depleted, which it is. It's
It
oof,
is. It is.
damn. I don't know what the hell. What they eating, bro? They need to start eating that good ass food out in there, man. Start eating that shit, man. Eat some damn greens and vegetables and shit, man. The
Ain't the
hell?
right. Ain't the right.
They need
Yeah.
nutrition, man.
Hey, so
Everybody
look,
getting hurt.
so hear me out, Mister the Right.
Oh,
So what you think about this? So
don't do it. Don't do it to me, Hootie.
so
Don't do it
so
to
yeah, I need you to hear me out though. So you saw the last few weeks they finally running it, even though we fumbled, they still pound the ball. And I was like, thank God they kept to the run play. They finally did this. So if
Right.
you get your team and you get that running offense going, and it's every week we getting at least one person getting at least 100 yards. If it's Taysom Hill or if it's Kamara or shit, if it's both of them, and we got that type of offense rolling and you bring back a healthy Jameis Winston, who you, like you said, will hit some of those deep passes compared to what Andy Dalton does, and you just keep that same offense that you're running right now. Basically, run the ball. Go short if you need to, because it's like third down and short instead of deep ball passes. And then once you got that run game going, and you start running those play actions, which is Jameis Winston's, best game is play action. I'm telling you, you're gonna be getting a lot more touchdowns deep because they ain't gonna know if you're running into it, you was gonna fake it. Like you don't know what you're gonna go do. Oh, James is gonna go deep, or they're gonna do a screenplay this time. Like you can be so tricky with James because James' game is deep. But what if you actually did what James with Sean Payton did last year, basically fit Jameis into the short game last year, and then released the deep balls when the defense wasn't expecting it. And you noticed that this year. A lot of people wasn't expecting Deontay Hardy because they saw Jameis going short. That's what Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen need to tell and then bring Jameis in and say, okay, look, we're gonna do short passes, we're gonna get the run game going, and once we get that play action game working, bro, that's when you're gonna go deep because the defense is not gonna know we're gonna have them on their feet. But we didn't do that the first 2 games with Jameis with a fracture back. The dude fucking fumbled the ball, boom, here you go, Jameis throwing 40, 50 times. It's like that's not how you're gonna win the game.
I wanna say that's kind of cap. Saying, I don't know why people say, oh, you can't win throwing the ball 30, 50 times, man. We see every good team does that shit. Tom Brady, Chiefs, Bills, the teams that are the teams to beat, the teams that will beat the living dog shit out of the Saints if we go against them right now. Those teams can throw 50, 40 times and shit on us. So they don't even have to have a run game.
You can do that. It just depends on the defense you're playing. Too, you gotta. It depends.
They would do that on our defense.
But just think of this: if you got a defense that's good at passing, that can cover your pass, now you basically done for because you can't get the run game going either. When you should be a balanced team and get the run game going. But like I said, some teams are just shits. Like you saw the Seahawks, they couldn't cover passes worth enough. They couldn't cover the run. So that's why we had a successful game. That's what I'm saying. That's why we had a successful game. That's why you see some of these teams can drove 50 times a game because, like, bro, we're gonna score 50 points on you because you can't even cover. But then they got teams who are freaking so good and are number 1 in the league at it, and you might have 150 yards passing and you got 0 yards running. You lost that. You ain't winning. So I think that's you got to put that into play too. Like I think the teams that they actually scored, drew 50 times, it was against shitty teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess like the Rams. I'll say like the Bills tore up the Rams. That was they did them dirty. But
they only got Jalen Ramsey. That's the only person
they got Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, and they also had that rookie. That rookie's pretty good. But I mean, I feel like with our roster, why would we want to be a passing team? Like, if I'm Chris Olave or Jarvis Landry or Mike Thomas, if I see AK getting the ball more than me, I'm not gonna fucking stay with this team. Especially if I'm not Mike Thomas, which I know if I'm Chris Olave, Mike is number 1. Yeah. I'm not gonna be number 1 over him. So I already know I'm gonna get less targets than him. 1 and 2. If we're running the ball more and he's getting less targets than Kamara, then I'm for sure gonna get fucking scraps, and I'm for sure not gonna want to stay with the fucking Saints who are running the ball. So I am obligated to leave my ass out of the New Orleans Saints locker room if I am a receiver like Chris Olave, and I'm like, bro, I'm only getting 6 targets a game. I'm not. I don't. And we're not winning, and we're not winning too. So it's not like he can.
Not yet.
It's not like he can just be like, you know what? Well, I'm getting 6 targets, but we're whooping ass, and that is not happening. So if I was,
that's true.
If I was one of them, I'm like, man, you better throw me that damn ball. I'm not
as a clear one. Would you put Tomlin at this point? I don't think so.
You said what?
Who's been there? Would you put Mike Thomas as your clear 1 over Olave? Who's played more football?
For scheme wise, yeah.
I'm just gonna
because
say
I would rather have Mike in the slot than in the outside.
You could line up Mike T anywhere.
Well, I can't say Olave is number 2.
Yeah, you can run Mike T anywhere, but he's slow as fuck. So
it don't matter.
If
you catching that ball.
Oh, it does matter. It does matter. Let's not act like Mike's been going crazy. Man, got hurt.
All right.
Instantly.
Got a creation. A healthy Mike Thomas. Who checking him? Who
checking him?
No. Who gonna stop him?
Marshawn Lattimore would stop him if he was on a different team.
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with that. Because Mike Evans, he stops Mike Evans
He's
really
got
good.
The tools
and Mike Evans is faster
with,
and is about as big as
But
Mike Thomas.
But Mike Evans not a Michael Thomas though. What concession?
Michael Thomas
Mike
is a
Evans and
dog.
Mike Thomas are damn near the same like receiver. Except Mike Evans is faster.
Mike Evans is not the same as Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is a whole nother level, bro. I gotta be honest with you.
But
And that's your God creation.
Yeah.
That's your boy, right?
That is my boy. I ain't seen my boy since 2019. So
we seen him this year. We seen him this year. He scored touchdowns.
doing nothing, not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. He won the.
He got 2 TDs.
But here's what I'm saying.
This because he got forced a damn ball in the red zone.
He still
Can't
came
go
back
on
and caught the.
You know, I go to this a lot.
And that was it. He got hurt after.
But I think competition in practice is healthy.
You said what?
Competition on the team is healthy. When you compete with other people week in and week out,
I don't know who the
makes
fuck we
both
competing
you
with.
better, dude. And I can't say that Michael Thomas, who I'm talking about practice, but talking about practice. I'm gonna give you the Allen Iverson.
Practice.
But what I'm saying is, right now,
Talk about practice.
right now, I don't see Michael Thomas as our number one receiver because we can't get him on the field. Right now, Olave is my guy because he's on the field consistently.
Man,
and he might be out this week, but he's balled up. And when Michael Thomas comes back and he's 100% healthy, am I going to say Olave is better? I can't say that. I've never seen him play a game fully healthy together.
Right.
But I
Michael
would hate
Thomas
to
is
be
a whole
the
nother
defensive coordinator that had to worry about that shit. That's
but
what
Mike
I'm
pissing
saying.
me off.
We're
Always on that
in a good
sideline
spot.
hurt. So I wonder, do we must not have a nutrition, huh?
We start playing that run. Then we get play action working. When we get play action working, that's going to free both of them up to what they really do best, man. It's going to help them both. So,
I mean,
I can't say that Michael Thomas is my number one receiver.
How many times do you think we should run the
just
game?
racked up a shit ton of yards. I can't give a number. I mean, we got Kamara and we got Ingram, and then we got
Ingram should not
this new
get more
cat.
than
What's the
8
new-
touches.
I agree. You know, Ingram serves best in a backup role, and I think he felt the pressure trying to be AK.
Right,
You
he needs
can't
to
be
hang up
AK.
that jersey.
Nobody can be AK. That guy has a skill
Not yet.
set
He got
that
something left.
is
He got
unprecedented.
something left.
You said he got what left? What he got left?
Something left.
What he got?
something left.
What the hell he got left?
He got
What he
something
got?
left.
Crumbs?
You know what he got
He
left?
got.
You know
He
what?
got something
You know
left.
Mark Ingram. You know
All
what
right.
Mark Ingram got left? You want me to tell you what he's got left? He's
What he got left?
He's got an interview left to come talk to Hoodie Jew because he does his own podcast. So he's gonna talk to Hoodie Jew on the podcast.
This some bitch ain't taking it. Go get that cat. No, for real.
For real though,
I think Ingram is served better
He
as
got
a
something
backup.
left.
For sure. He's not our number
Backup
one
to a
guy.
backup.
And then think this is the thing. Like, you're trying to replace Alvin Kamara. Any of y'all that play football know, like, dude, that first time you get in there and like, oh, we got stud duck, and now I got to be this guy. Your head gets to you more than anything else. And I think that was probably the problem. I think that's Jameis's problem. Jameis sees all this talent that the Saints built around him, and he's throwing fire, trying to throw fire, and he's putting the game on his back where he doesn't have to. But he's feeling that pressure. Like, I got to be the man. Look at this team. And it puts him in bad situations. And I think that's what people are talking to, throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game.
Right.
That might not be his game. Actually, if we put him in the right position, like I said, we get that run rolling.
I don't want to see no game
play action with Jameis.
I don't want to see no game manager.
That could be
Jameis.
nasty. That's a hard matchup, man.
Man, y'all want this game
That's a hard
manager,
matchup.
Jameis, man. Fuck that game manager shit. I swear, you can't be bro. We are not winning. I'm not winning playoff games with a game manager, man. Because y'all like run the ball evenly,
I'm
pass
saying
evenly.
put him in the right scheme.
Man, this even Steven shit, man. Like look, man. Rock, throw that bit 30 times, 33.
I'm gonna tell you something, God of creation. You my bro, you my brother, but I forgot what year it was when the 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers and Jimmy G only threw the ball 10 times and they ran the ball forever and made the Super Bowl.
And what did he do in the Super Bowl?
I mean, they lost the Super Bowl,
Exactly. Damn
they
right.
they
Do we do we
made the
want to
Super
lose?
Bowl.
Do we want to lose the Super Bowl? Or do we want to win that
They,
hoe?
they made the Super Bowl, bro.
Hey,
Come on now.
almost don't count. You ever heard that song? Almost doesn't count. I know
I
you
hear
heard
you.
that song.
I hear you. But
This
still,
cat's
it
going
went
to
further than
second
that.
first
Hey, y'all, you
loser.
know what it is though? You know what it is though?
I mean, come on, bro.
There's one
It's
thing
winning
though
games.
different.
It's winning games one at a time.
If you get the run game going with the Jameis Winston and you run the ball and everybody knows it's gonna be a run game first, but if it comes down to where they stop your run, at least you know Jameis is talented enough to draw it down the field deeper than Jimmy G did. That's why they
what
got
I'm saying.
spots. That's where I
You've got
feel
some
like
athletes on this team.
Y'all want us to be
There's
the
some
damn
athletes on this
49ers.
team
Run
that
that
are
bitch
hard
60
matchups,
times a
man.
game.
Yep. They making Super
Dude, our
Bowls, bro.
offensive personnel.
Making playoffs.
If we're
That's
completely
what it's
our
about. Winning
offensive
games.
personnel and everyone's
Oh
healthy,
yeah, they do make playoffs.
how are you going to match up with that? I definitely don't see anyone in our division matching up with us one-on-one personnel-wise, especially on offense. And our defense is all right. Last week I wasn't happy, but traditionally we got a strong D.
Right.
So
Right.
we work out the defensive problems. We get healthy. That's a whole other animal. Whether we get healthy, whether we don't.
Thank you,
But
Brandon.
the fact is,
we
put up 40 points, man.
We're not healthy right now.
You
We
don't
are
see
not
that.
healthy right
You don't
now.
see that.
You know what?
We're not
put
healthy.
Up, you know what?
I'll say Taysom put up 40.
Look, we put up 40 points doing what we
I'll
know
go
how
with
to
that
do.
too.
We put up
I'll go
40
with that
points
too.
doing we put up 40 points doing what we know how to do. We're not a team that throws the ball down the field 10 times out of each drive. That's not what we do.
Apparently not.
We put up 40 points. And if you look back, if you go all the way back to 15 years, the 10 years, the 12 years, the 13 years, Sean Payton has been the coach. We always put up 35 points. And you know how we put up those 35 points? It started off with the run game. Each of them started off with the run game.
Man, we
got creation
hey,
on
look,
like that, dude.
man, we did that shit last year. We didn't win shit. Did the shit, but year before that, we ain't win shit. We lose every fucking time with the
Man,
same
we did win
goofy
games
ass
last year.
formula. The goofy bullshit.
We barely missed the playoffs and we started Trevor Simeon.
We
You can't say we
when's the
didn't win
last time we
games.
won some
We were
shit,
in, man.
We ain't win shit in fucking years, man. I'm tired of losing. We
do you
get
mean
there and get
years?
fucked.
I agree with you,
We
guys.
get there in the
We
playoffs
want
and
to
get
win.
gutted.
We want to win. We want to win. I agree with you on that.
Of course
But
we want to win, but
I think,
but guess what? But guess what? This is how you look at it.
We do the
If you
same
wanna
thing
win-
every year, man. Every
about to say,
year. I'm
Hoodie?
getting tired
Hey,
of
What
it,
you about to
man.
say,
Hey,
Hoodie?
this is what I'm saying. If you want to win and you want to be successful in this league, you definitely gonna have to get the run game going. Because I'm telling you, once you get both of them, you're gonna be having everybody second guessing what you're gonna be doing because they're not gonna know. But once you say, "Well, let me pass 40 to 50 times a game because I got Mahomes," they know you're gonna pass more than run.
But still
So-
can't stop him.
One-dimensional.
And they
Yeah,
still
yeah,
can't stop him.
Yeah, you still can't stop him. But I'm saying though,
Exactly. That's
people
what
are
we
gonna
need to be.
but people are gonna eventually catch on to that too. So somebody's
And
like
he
I
got
said,
a ring.
It's gonna, and like I said, it's gonna be he's got one ring, and he went to the other Super Bowl and
We
he got
got a
stopped
ring.
and he had no protection.
Yeah, and then the
Same.
other one, offensive line got was
Yeah, they
fucking
was
in-
banged up.
and
They was banged up.
everybody was in the ER watching the game.
Yeah, that old line was banged up. I ain't gonna lie.
I was
So
watching the game with them too.
he would have had 2 Super Bowls if his O line didn't get gashed.
But Tom Brady was gonna win that year anyway. The NFL wanted that. I'm not.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
disagree.
they would have found a way to pull a flag out their rear end. It was like,
I'm
yeah, we got
not,
one
I'm
for
not
you.
saying they cheat, but they don't damn sure play
Hey, look,
fair. I'll tell you
I
that.
just want to. I'll tell you like this: if it's a more of a probability of them cheating than not, because we do realize they gamble on these games. So let
money's involved.
let people know that
Money's
they
involved.
do gamble on these games. So
Got a
you know what I'm
creation.
saying?
Money's involved, definitely.
All right, come on. But like, let's be for real, man. Like, come on, big money in here.
Let's get off that shit. But what about Eli Apple? Nasty trash, dude. You don't talk about somebody's home that way, man. I hope
Hey,
that man comes
you know
out
what's
of
gonna
that
happen,
game
though.
just wore the shit out, man.
You know what's
Wait,
gonna
he
happen.
talked
That's
shit again?
ugly. That's just
You know
ugly
what's gonna
talk.
happen.
You don't do that.
Wait, he talked crap again? What'd he say?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh
He talks shit
no!
all the
Oh,
time.
you didn't see that? Oh, dude, that was ugly as hell. He said New
What'd he say?
Orleans is the stinkiest,
Oh, you talking about
dirtiest
last
town in
year?
the United States, and the
Yeah.
food sucks. Man, I don't give a shit if it was 25 years ago. Son of a bitch, you gonna fucking get a cleat in your face.
Hey,
That's some
hey, you know what's
bullshit.
gonna
My boy
happen.
You don't talk
Brandon
like
lit. Let
that.
him know, Brandon. Let him know,
He said
Brandon.
You
son
know
of
what's
a
gonna
bitch.
happen. You know.
You don't talk like that. You
Let
might
him
be
know,
able to talk
Brandon.
like that in Ohio, but this
Oh
is
shit.
Louisiana, boy. You
Hey,
don't talk
y'all.
that way.
Hey,
That's right.
y'all know what's gonna happen Sunday, right?
What's gonna happen?
Eli Apple's gonna get his ass whooped on the
By
field,
who?
physically by Michael Thomas and them, on
By
the passing
Marshawn
game.
Lynch,
Oh wait, hold on.
And
We don't
then
even know if he gonna
Marshawn
come
Lynch,
back.
no, Michael
Hopefully
Thomas,
Jarvis
Marshawn
Landry
Michael
Lattimore.
play.
Thomas, Michael Thomas is
Hopefully
supposed to
Jarvis
play.
play.
That's what they said. They said Michael Thomas is supposed to play
Oh
first
Man,
yeah,
game.
they say a whole bunch of shit.
No, that's what they saying. He's supposed to play.
dude.
So he's gonna get his. So he's
I
gonna get
don't
his
know.
ass
I
whooped
don't
on
know
the
how
field.
that guy.
And
How you gonna talk like that when I've seen this guy get burned by old white tight ends, man? That guy is a liability. And you're gonna talk that trash?
hey,
Nasty
just
little
let him.
boy, dude.
Hey, just let him talk his shit. But guess what? He's gonna get his
Let him
ass
talk
beat.
it.
He's gonna get his ass beat on the field. Everybody's
I
gonna be
damn
talking
sure
shit
hope.
on him. He's gonna get burnt, and then what's gonna happen? They're gonna say Saints win, and then you're just gonna see all the lights cut off.
All right,
And
let's
then
leave.
the lights
Don't
gonna come
jinx
back.
us. Y'all
And then the
talking this
lights back.
shit.
And then the lights are gonna come
We
back
coming?
on, and you're gonna see the
Oh, we
whole
coming, dude.
Superdome on the field, ready to beat the shit out of them.
Man, hey, look, y'all keep
I hope the
y'all
shit so.
hold that energy, man, until the
Hey,
end.
and you know
That
what?
boy
And
went
guess
run
what?
for
You know
his
what's funny?
life too.
Man, we gonna get fucked up, man.
And guess
Y'all
what?
keep
And guess what?
trying
And
to
you know
talk
what's gonna
shit.
be? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. You know what's gonna be the
Bullshit.
funniest part?
Bullshit.
Hey, y'all.
Jamar Chase
Hey,
about to
fellas.
shit on somebody.
Hey, fellas. Hey,
It's
fellas.
a
After the
long
light.
way. It's a long way
Hey,
off the
fellas.
I-10 to get out of town. We got time. We can catch that bastard.
I don't
Hey,
care. As long as we
fellas.
win the game. As long as we
Hey,
win the game,
fellas.
I don't care.
Hey, fellas. When the lights turn back on and y'all see him being surrounded, getting his ass whooped, y'all gonna see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase whooping his ass too. He said, "What you said about Louisiana again, motherfucker?"
They from down here too.
What you
Yep.
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
long
Like,
as long
how
as we
you
win the
gonna
game, I
how
don't
you
care.
gonna
I don't
say
care.
that when two players on your team came to LSU? You dirty ass. You don't talk
They
that
ain't
kind of.
check it.
You
They
don't
ain't
talk
check
that kind
his
of stuff
ass. So
about
I
people you
don't
play
even.
with.
I ain't even trying to hear it.
I
They
don't respect that.
if they was real ones, they would have checked him. Just like you know how Chris Godwin checked. What was that dirty ass linebacker's name for the Bucks? Not
Devin
Levante
White.
David. Devin
Devin
White.
White.
Yeah,
Oh
that.
yeah.
His
He
bottom
did,
looking ass
dude. I do
Speaking of that,
give Godwin props.
on me, real
That boy
nigga. He
stepped up,
checked his
dude.
ass.
I
Man,
give
he
him
like, man,
props.
what the hell
respect.
you talking about? He was like, oh, I'm talking about Jameis. He's like, man, watch your mouth. Right, facts.
Shout out to who that 1341. It
Yeah,
really
for real.
seems like the refs are helping the Bucks win the division. Shaking my head. They go
Yeah,
always
hey,
give
look,
Tom Brady that. They go always treat Tom Brady like that. Come on now,
didn't
give me
I?
a break.
Wait, what? Hey, Hoodie, didn't I say at the before this year started that all three of us, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons, need to be against the Bucks? But no, everybody wants to have the fucking grudge on the Saints. Bitch, we not the ones that get the calls all the time. Y'all looking at the wrong enemy. We are not the enemy.
No,
And I'm gonna
you
say
damn
this
right.
much:
Now, if Tom
if you
Brady gets up and cries, it's over, dude. You got
Right,
flagged.
man. We
did
getting
All that
you
boy has to do is cry a little bit.
and he tried to, and much as and you know, much as we hate Atlanta, you see how he tried to kick Grady Jarrett after that sack. He tried to kick him, and the
Yeah.
referees did nothing about it. It's just like it's pathetic.
that
It's
shit. Wow.
pathetic. It's
I mean,
pathetic.
but
That
I
was a
want
weak
to.
call, man. That was a weak call.
But my thing is, I wonder why people were surprised. Like we ain't seen this shit for years. Been
Not
seeing this
surprised.
nigga cheat,
Not
man.
surprised.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, Tom Brady got the call. Like, man, duh, nigga, you watch football? Like, we seen this shit every damn year, man. We see this shit every year. Every
Tom
year, we
Brady.
see him get
Tom Brady
bullshit.
been cheating since the day he was born, dude. This
Bruh,
man
look,
I
you
hear
know it's
you.
crazy?
deflates balls. That son of a gun, he should be in prison.
Man,
No, I don't give a
bruh,
shit about deflate. But you know what I mean? Like, this son of a bitch,
He knows
It's like when
cheating,
people
bro.
play
The whole team was cheating.
basketball with Jordan. They're like, Jordan gets all the calls. That's what it is. Like,
Yeah, blow that
dude,
damn.
Your house is so like BS. Like, shut the fuck up. You're being fucking loud.
Oh.
It's annoying.
oh, my wife just ripped my ass. I just got told by mama. I better slow my ass down. Anyways, what I was trying to say is Brady's like Jordan back in the
Oh
day.
shit.
If Tom Brady bitches, your ass in trouble. He's gonna
Yeah, but you gotta think about
talk
it like
shit.
this.
Maybe take some iPod violence. But that's because he's the commercial face of the NFL. Like,
Hoodie, stop.
they're going to protect that.
Brandon. Quick question for you,
Yep,
Brandon. Is
yep,
he
love y'all.
Is he watching the podcast? Is he watching it?
Nah, I'm on my Bluetooth, and she just hears me talking to you cats, dude. She's wearing all her LSU shit, which make you boys proud, but she ain't got
Well,
no
hold
clue
on.
what y'all say.
Okay, good, because here you go. I got your back, brother.
On down. You do all that all you want, Undertaker. You come on down. Die. Shut up, bitch. Oh my God.
Your back, brother.
Oh goddamn! Oh goddamn! If I tried that shit, I'd have my ass whooped in the cemetery.
I was about to say, Hoodie trying to get you
That's
killed.
what Eli Apple don't get.
Hoodie,
You don't do those. You don't do those things to Southern women, boy. You don't do those things.
Bruh.
Unless you ready to get homicide.
Oh my goodness.
It'd be me and you, motherfucker. But
Hey, man. Hey, be like this, man. You say we want all the smoke. No matter where it come from. No matter. It can be from
Sorry about
anybody, anywhere. Don't care if it's Wonder Woman, Superwoman. Don't matter.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This motherfucker, like goddamn Lucifer herself. You some bitches want some. I'll send it around. She'll kill all you bastards.
Hey, look, we gonna have to play devil's advocate.
I'm gonna blame Hoodie. I'm gonna blame Hoodie. I'll be like, this son of a bitch made me do it.
Hey, look.
I was
Hey,
innocent,
look.
mama.
If you send her to the Hoodie Jew podcast, you gonna get a whole different woman. She gonna be like, "Oh, thank you, sweetie, making your plate, rubbing your feet, man."
Rub your feet.
Boys. She's a fucking Cardinals fan, man.
Oh, makes sense. No wonder why she's so mad. I can hear it. Yeah, she gotta watch them. I would be mad too.
Yeah.
You gotta watch them play every time.
No, check it out. So I go on NOLA Bros, and I support a lot of different podcasters, bro. Like for real, Hoodie. Like I got hooked up with Hoodie through NOLA Bros, and then like this just became my stop. You know what I mean? Like I hit Hoodie up, but. Dude, the Cardinals don't have shit like that. Like they don't have like the family that we have. Dude. Like, so yeah, I get it. She's a little angry, but then again, I mean, it's Cardinals, bro. Like, fuck that. That'd be rough, dude. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Enough with me. Go on with
Hey.
yourself.
Hey, I'm about to hey fella, I'm about to end the podcast anyway. 'Cause I'm being quiet right now too. Come by a friend's house using, chilling by them, and I can quiet it down too. So,
Right.
but I appreciate y'all coming on.
I will be quiet.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on and everything. But we'll try to do another
All right,
podcast
man.
maybe tomorrow. Another preview again. And hopefully do it a little bit earlier to where we can have more time to talk. So. I appreciate y'all coming on, and
Hell yeah.
y'all can help me
All
real
right,
quick. Y'all
boys.
can help me real quick, like we always do. We tell everybody who what.
Who
Who
what?
that?
Who that, baby?
Oh, who that? Who
Who
that?
that, y'all? Who that,
Who-
everybody?
who that?
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Love y'all. Peace.
Run it up, Panera. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. Say what they lie. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We going to the bowl. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. We screaming black and gold. Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Young Nolan Hooded Jew on the beat, me let you know. Chris Olave, MT down the field. Wants to throw the ball deep, yeah, you know it's getting real. Put Jarvis in the slot, he gon' do damage. AK in the backfield, you know Durant. E. Davis coming through the line, QB running out of time. Tom Brady, that's mine. Yeah, the Saints did it fine. Hold up, chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Chopper style, choppers out. Them boys wild, yeah, them boys wild. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we rolling. Hold up, yeah, we toting, Marshawn Lattimore, play the left field. Marcus May play deep safety, so you know the deal. We got Tyrant in the box, got the QB on lock. Man, we ready to rock. See, they gone in the spot out. A Debo, play the right side. Stop playing with that boy. 29, ready to ride. We ain't tripping at all. We going to the top. Yeah, we gon' spin they block. Yeah, we knocking on the top. Look, we rap the Florida league. So boy was poppin'. The Saints really wildin'. Them boys on fire. We really number one. We move with silence. We zip them boys up. If it's a problem, choppers out. Choppers out. Them boys wild. Yeah, them boys wild. Choppers out. Choppers out. Them boys wild. Hold up. Yeah, we roll.